Hello to the peoples. Start up a new series. Base Day 9. Brought to us quite forcefully by Hell.
You're goddamn right.
But that's okay.
I've been trying
though.
to get him to hop on forever.
Yes. And I took a single step and then realized that, hold on, while yes, I'm supposed to take that step and be confused, this is advanced confusion. So rolled it back. But here we are, starting properly from the beginning. So without
Yes,
further
we are
ado,
we're doing the proper watch order, assholes.
Exactly. So with that, let's resume. Get out this menu.
It's a lot of reading, by the way. Hope you're ready.
It'll be fine. I have my bottle of water.
I got some Sprite Zero when there's cussing. Don't even worry about it.
Nice. Let's see, the tip of the sword was like a flash of lightning. Spearhead thrust, skewer the heart. Shot to the heart. And they're to blame. They give love a bad name. Dang. Even attempting to evade it was pointless. Well, I recommend trying harder. It was but a flash, too swift for the human eye to follow. Okay. And yet, moonlight swept in to save me. And this is why we love the moon. From the strike that threatened to end me. Sound was beautiful, like the tolling of a bell. No, truth be told, the sound hung over me, heavier than an iron weight. Beauty had little to do with aesthetics. The stark armor wrapped around her was like the frozen night itself. The ringing was not, in itself, pleasant. It was the sound of steel. But the night herself was beautiful enough to make it into the chiming of a bell. Are you sure that you just don't have your simp earmuffs on? Your simp glasses?
とう、あなたが私のマスターか。
Pretty sure I selected English. But anyways, I asked for you. Actually, hold on. We can press the button. We can always do this.
There's no English dub. It is in fact just
display language. Okay, carry on.
Yeah.
That's fine. It was set correctly on my ears that way, anyways. Voice resonated in the darkness.
召喚に従い参上した。
Nice.
これより我が剣はあなたと共にあり、あなたの運命は私と共にある。ここに契約は完了した。
It's so weird to see this in 16 by 9. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. But also, she said the word. She said fate. Now we just need Stay Night. And we'll have a whole title. Indeed, the pact was sealed. Just as she chose to serve me, I'm sure in that moment that I swore to save her. From what, however? You saving her from? Mysteries piling up. We're only like a scene in. Moonlight cut through the darkness. As if in imitation of the night, Storehouse regained his former calm. Time had stopped. Vision before me had lasted less than a second. Be that as it may, I will always remember the sight of her as clearly as if it were still happening now, even if I fall into the depths of hell. How do you feel about this hell?
This is a scene. This particular version of the scene will be important way later on. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. I wasn't expecting an honest answer. I was just making a joke. But that works too.
Listen, I'm here to be your senpai.
And we are always grateful for senpai.
Hi.
The faint slant of her profile, her serene, divinely green eyes. For a moment, time stopped, and her silhouette, draped in blue, swayed in the wind. I was struck by the pale blue glow. Her hair, as fine as golden thread, was bathed in moonlight. Fate.
Now we're starting proper.
This happened 10 years ago. As in what's about to happen or that scene? Let's find out.
I need to learn to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, in this case, it was a rhetorical question. I see someone who takes me back. He's tall, with chiseled features. I've never known him to crack a joke. He ruffles my hair affectionately. No, that's not what this is. It's more like he's grasping my head and working it like a stubborn jar lid. Maybe he doesn't know how to control his strength. Dang. But that's only to be expected. It's the first time he's ever done something like this. Time for
I
me to
forgot.
leave.
I forgot Tokiyomi doesn't have a voice. Carry on.
Oh, alright. Yeah. See, time for me to leave. You know what to do next? I answered yes in a somber voice. He nodded once, withdrew his hand, and stood up. That's all. Had I known this would be the last time we would ever see each other, I would have done my best to make him laugh with the perfect joke. I've been practicing punchlines in private in the hopes of finally seeing a smile crack that stony face. If I have one regret, it's that I never got to tell him any of my jokes. Okay? Get the association and you're dead before you become an adult. Any decisions after that, I leave up to you. I'm sure you'll manage on your own. So he said, but I bet he was worried about me. He told me about our family's heirloom jewels, the gems passed down to us from our grandmaster, and how to manage the underground workshop. It was a rapid-fire course of subjects he'd never taught me before. Even as a child, I realized that we would probably never come home again. there was a war. Not a war between countries, but between people. But in this war, there were only 7 combatants. It might not have seemed fitting to call it a war, but having mages involved changes things. 7 mages from different factions competed, but I wasn't sure why. They killed each other using methods I didn't really understand. One of them was the man in front of me. It meant that he would kill and eventually be killed. I'm sure he felt the ticking of his life's clock even more keenly than I did. Rin, before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it, and above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. And with that, he ruffled my hair one last time and left. I never saw him again. My father's last teacher was one of the masters who participated in the Holy Grail War. He never came home.
いってらっしゃいませ、お父様。
I bid him farewell, as a well-behaved daughter should. I knew I was on the verge of tears, but I didn't let them show. I loved him. He was a great father and an even greater mage. Mages are stubborn people. As far as I knew, there wasn't a more upstanding man in the whole world. As my instructor, he trained me. As my father, he loved me. So I decided I accept the things he left for me and choose my own path. Rin, before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It's the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it. But above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. In the end, his final words for me were given as a mage, not a father. That's the moment I made up my mind.
よし、それじゃあ一つ気合い入れて一人前になりますか。
It's only natural for an apprentice to live up to their master's hopes. That's how I, Ran Tosaka, grew up after experiencing life's twists and turns. It's been 10 years since my father went off to war. I wouldn't say I've been looking forward to today, but I am a bit on edge. That goes without saying. After all, that moment which was burned into my memory 10 years ago will soon be upon me again. Right?
January 31st.
Okay. Get another year.
Do me a favor and increase the text speed. I'm going insane.
Okay.
Because I know you can read fast, and you know I read fast.
Yeah. Let's see. Fast.
There
Take
we
it back
go.
now, y'all. I hear something. Ringa ringa.
うるさい。止まれ。
The noise doesn't stop. Such an infernal racket. It's almost as if it's here to avenge my father.
何よもう。昨日は遅くまでやってたんだから。もうちょっと。
Me every day. I wish it would just let me sleep a little bit more. In fact, it should. I stayed up into the early hours deciphering my father's will, and I used a hell of a lot of magical energy to do it. I'm totally exhausted, body and mind.
Girl is out of spell slots, apparently. She just woke up.
Yeah.
もう融通の利かないやつ。
Oh, okay, that was weird. Come in some slack, will ya? Ringa, 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 ringa. The alarm clock is deaf to my complaints. What kind of machine makes a noise that seems like its sole purpose is to remind you that you're late?
遅刻はまずい。
Get the toast in your mouth, girl.
Don't forget to hit it with a bit of butter. Oh gosh. True, but there's a time and place for everything. No matter how much of an overachiever I am, I should try to make it to school on time, at least for today, if only slightly.
そうそう。あらかじめ30分ずらして目覚ましをセットしたんだから、あと30分は眠れるはず。
Doesn't that sound off?
30分ずらして？
I peer at the alarm clock through sleep-heavy eyelids. The hands point to 7 o'clock on the dot. I usually get up at 6:30, which means I've completely used up my safety margin. Speaking of which, why is my brain so slow in the morning? I mean, if you are functioning high enough and well enough to notice that, hold on, I set my alarm clock 30 minutes before, but hold on, something's off. This isn't actually 30 minutes before, and are able to look at the clock and realize that it's actually 7, I think you're kind of doing okay.
She just has high standards.
Yeah, so, you know them overachiever types.
Oh, yeah.
I glare at the alarm clock for several seconds. Ah, sweet silence. I shut off the alarm and climb sluggishly out of bed.
Now it's just me and my tinnitus. And the birds.
The morning chill bites at me as I cross the hallway and enter the parlor. It's the final 7 a.m. journey in January. Yeah, close enough. Winters in Fuyuki are relatively warm, but the mornings here are as cold as anywhere. Even at home, my breath would miss white. And you're inside? Whoa, it's crazy. It's much colder without anyone else living here.
暖房。
Turn on the heater and go wash up. Single living is so inconvenient at times like these. If there was someone else here to wake up before me, then the parlor would already be heated. Wash my face in the sink. Put a brush to my long hair and get dressed. Chilly morning in a frigid bathroom. The only thing to be said for it is that the cold water mercilessly beats the sleepiness out of me. Dang. With a final tug of the ribbon at my collar, I finish getting dressed. All that's left is to have breakfast and go to school. The clock reached just past 7, so my morning rush feels a bit anticlimactic.
なんだ、これなら走っていく必要もないか。
Oh, I don't even have to run then. Of course, I never do something so uncouth as sprinting to school. Much less with a slice of toast and butter in my mouth.
So rude, girl.
I know. The Tosaka family motto dictates that we must conduct ourselves with confidence and elegance at all times. My ancestors must have been some high mighty aristocrats if that's what we've taught through the generations. The anachronistic mansion I live in is proof enough of that. Plus, the Tosakas are a line of spell weavers who practice what is known as magecraft. We're not just any old family. We have an admirably storied history.
まあ自慢できることでもないんだけど。
In fact, I literally can't talk about it. Why am I telling you, the viewer? Don't worry about it.
Okay, Deadpool.
The truth is, I'm a mage. Watch this, Presty. Who would I even brag about that to? As the name suggests, magecraft is what most normal people would see as magic. Yes, Shapewater plus Presty. Show yourself as the true ultimate mage. It sounds like some supernatural woo-woo, but if you like to think of it as just wiggling your fingers and saying abracadabra, that's fine too. Just think of us as people who chant weird words and make equally weird stuff happen. That's a good description of being a mage. That said, we don't fly around on broomsticks. We don't even shoot stars out of wands either. Of course not. If you did, that'd make you a witch, not necessarily a mage. See, we can do things like that, but there's no point, so we don't. That's funny. We're pretty much heretics who lurk in the shadows of society. Not allowed to draw attention to ourselves. Anyone who has the time for that kind of thing would rather spend it on their research. Ordinary humans might call us magicians, but that would be wrong. In fact, there are only 5 magicians in the whole world. Magicians are what we call people who can do something no one else can. They can accomplish feats beyond the means of modern science and perform genuine miracles.
I'm holding up a yellow flag real quick.
Okay.
So, in the translation that I read, the word used there was sorcerer, not magician.
Okay.
But given this is the word that they're using now, okay, magician refers to somebody who can do incredible things. Mages are just regular magic people.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's just worth noting, given they use the words that both start with mage, because, you know, mage is usually shorthand for magician.
Exactly. But I guess that's why they did it, because since mage is shorthand for magician, they get the shorthand power as well.
Well, I guess if that's how you want to remember it, we got it. Let's keep going.
Let's see. Similarly, magic is the label we use for mystics, magical mysteries that can't be realized with any amount of time or skill. Okay. While magecraft, though it looks mysterious, is something anyone can do with enough time and resources.
Okay, I'm starting to understand the difference a little better in terms of the words now. Magecraft versus magic, mage versus magician. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting a little college lesson from Tosaka here.
Yeah. I'm a mage, and the kind of mystics I use are merely magecraft, not true magic. Confusing, I know, but that's just how it works. Also, modern civilization doesn't accept the existence of mages. I mean, have you tried to get society to accept you?
I don't think they want to.
True, true. We believe in, manipulate, and study things that can't be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. I mean, yes, we do like our hard facts, but also just look at literally anything in the
This was 2004, okay? It was different, but not that different, you know?
news. Fair enough. 20 years will change a lot of things.
We also are looking through our bad American eyes.
Yeah. See, above all, there's no point to any of what we do. Well, now that's just saddening. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying Magecraft. I don't know. Maybe a little column A, a little column B. Probably make it work. Human technology has accomplished great things. For the last few centuries, Magecraft has been playing catch up to the progress of civilization. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. Miracles that could only be realized with Magecraft in the distant past have been reduced to common tools and appliances. And so Magecraft does have its benefits. Just as there are some things only science can accomplish, there remain heights only mystics can reach. If science is racing into the future, then mages are racing into the past. I think the Tosaka Grandmaster said that. Whether you are heading into the past or the future, your destination is the same. 0. Or something like that. We can shelve the difficult topics for now. Philosophy is for the elderly. Finish my breakfast and pick up my bag.
そうだ、ペンダント持っていかないと。
I'm reluctant to take something so valuable to school, but it will be a waste to leave it behind.
何しろ100年ものの石だものね。うちにある宝石の中じゃダントツで最強だし。
Most powerful jewel, you say? You telling me that this is a source of one of your mage crafts? Whoa. Looks pretty cool. One could even say it's on an entirely different level. I obtained the gem after decoding my father's will last night. It's imbued with 10 years worth of my own magical energy. Huh? But if you just got it last night, then how is it imbued with your magical energy?
Well, she's saying if her magical energy is a certain amount of units, it would be like she put 10 of those units, 10 years of those. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the innate power battery amount is okay. We're good. I understand. See, I've been told that the Tosaka family has heirloom jewels passed down since the olden days, and this might be one of them. Tosaka mages specialize in the conversion and flow of power. Channel our own magical energy into precious gems whenever we have a spare moment. Okay. Simply put, I'm the gun and the jewels are bullets. Interesting. The other main thing I've inherited from my father is the magic crest engraved in my left arm. A magic crest is proof that I'm the heir to our lineage, like all the techniques of the Tosaka condensed into a tattoo. Oh, that's pretty useful.
まだ始まったわけじゃないけど、用心に越したことはないか。
For now, I stole my pendant, my father's keepsake, in a pocket.
切り札だものね。 これに秘められた魔力ならできないことはないぐらいなんだし。
Hmm. 7:30. Wow, you wasted so much time. We're doing so well. I better leave soon if I don't want to be late for school.
シュミスン、フィアファレントライ。
Glad you read that for me. 'Cause, girl, I wasn't. I weave energy into a brief foreign phrase. As a mage, I can't neglect the security of my home base.
TLDR, magic sometimes requires a foreign language to be the spell words, because if you use magic words from your own language, things get complicated, blah blah blah.
Interesting.
Or, from the perspective of a writer, Nazi thought it sounded cool.
I mean, I know the deals. This is just how light novels and visual novels and everything in between are. We
They
love
just like to
throwing
do this
again,
stuff.
yeah, and everyone's favorite foreign language, German.
A little bit of douche.
Yes. Let's see. That still applies even if I've never had so much as a single burglar, lost child, or even a stray cat wandering to my home. Will be concerned if you had a lost child get themselves so lost that they wind themselves inside your house. But anyways, actually, I don't think the neighbors have even come over to say hello. Okay.
別にいいけどね。野良猫でさえ入ってこないってどういうことよ。
Yeah. I look up at the mansion that's been my home for over a decade. Yuki is a strange city. One side of the intersection dividing the residential areas is filled with old samurai estates, while the side I'm on has an abundance of mansions built in European style. Apparently, a whole bunch of foreign families immigrated here long ago, but I've never seen a single foreigner around. Well, yeah, because it was long ago.
They've
Yesterday.
integrated. What do you want from them?
Yeah. There's even a cemetery for foreigners in Shinto, the new part of the city, across the river, but it was built for the generation that immigrated here.
日本の土が合わなかったのかな。
No, they just lived their life and met their end naturally. What more do you want from them? Yes, you need to move to Japan and be immortal. Full stop. Make a mental note to ask the priest about it next time I visit the church. He's nothing if not full of boring trivia, that's for sure. Savage.
あれ
Something feels off as soon as I step outside.
なんだろう。思ったより静かなんですけど。
That's weird. It's quieter than I thought. There's no trace of the typical morning bustle. At 7:30 in the morning, there would normally be students and workers on their daily commute.
まあ、こういう日もあるか。
I think you
Where you
should
don't
keep
want
your
to wake
guard
up?
up. I mean, yes, that too, but sure, the kiddos, but even the adults, they usually be like, gotta get up, even if I don't want to, gotta go,
I need, I need money.
Exactly. Actually, what gets me out of bed. uh, oh, let's see. Maybe everyone slept in. It's unusually cold today, so everyone must be snuggled up in bed.
Unusually, girl, it's January.
I mean, yes, but remember, in Fuyuki, all of the winters are relatively warm. It's just the mornings that is like really cold.
Well, at least it's not a snow day.
True.
けどさすがに
I wonder if they have snow day rules like we do here in Texas.
Yeah, I don't think they do. The Texas schools see a block of ice on the road and they shut everything down in a 5-mile radius.
I mean, yes, that is in fact what we do.
I mean, the students don't complain.
Correct. And I'm pretty sure the teachers don't either until they remember that, oh, yeah, makeup days, and now my schedule's off for what we need to cover before the next exam. But, their problem. Even if that were true, it's strange that there isn't a single student on the street. At this time of day, you expect to see at least a school uniform or two. And yet, from where I'm standing at the school gate, it looks like morning club activities are just starting up. Which can only mean
あれ遠坂今朝は一段と早いのね
This was the other person I was tempted to make my sprite.
ah, would have been a good choice.
Yeah, she's like the one person looked at and was like, yeah, no, that's kind of hell energy. I mean, look at her.
I agree.
Maybe next time.
Next time. We have many a stream ahead of us.
Oh,
Each
yeah,
one you
plenty
can
of
just
time to-
cycle to new people. Let's see.
やっぱりそうきたか
Dang. With a light sigh, I turned to face the student who called out to me.
おはよう今日も寒いねこりゃ
The girl who addresses me so casually is Ayako Misurui. She's my classmate in 2A, and she has quite a history.
おはよう三辻さんつかのことを聞くけど今何時だかわかるん何時って7時前じゃない遠坂寝ぼけてる
How did your clock get more than an hour off? Dang. She forgot about daylight savings time. She waves her hand in front of my face as if to ask if anybody's home. Ayako's one of my few friends, and she knows I'm not a morning person. She's probably figured out by now that I'm still not completely with it.
うちの時計1時間早かったみたいしかも軒並み
See? Told you. Daylight savings time.
目覚まし時計はおろか柱時計まできっかり早まってた
What's going on here? Yes, this is totally a reasonable conclusion to draw. Father must have set the clocks to go haywire once I took the pendant out of the underground cellar.
We are dealing with magic here, to be fair, Richie.
True, fair enough, but I have no clue why that would make sense to do so. But you know what? I'm not a mage either, so nothing they do would make sense to me. Anyways.
And if she told you she was a mage, she'd have to kill you.
It's fine. I'll just pretend like I didn't know.
遠坂 気にしないで。別に大したことじゃないから。それより、三辻さんは今日も朝練？
ああ、弓道部は問題児も多いし、上手いのが一人減ったからね。4月の新入生獲得のために少しぐらいは見栄えを良くしとかないと。
Do I need to pull up the card, or do you know what that one is?
I actually do not know. I was like, Kyoto.
Kyudo refers to a specific type of archery.
Oh, okay. Okay, this makes sense.
It's like the archery equivalent to kendo, we'll say.
Yeah. Now the question is, what flavor of archery is this? Are we talking the one where you have your excessively large bow?
It is, in
Archery?
fact, the excessively large bow.
All right, cool.
It's the
Now,
large bow, the kimono, the hakama, and the breast guard.
yeah. Okay. Well, now we have a name for it. Cool.
I kind of was forced to learn what that meant when I read this. Well, no, I was forced to learn what they were saying because the difference between Kyudo and archery becomes important at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, because that I have done a cursory bit of research on, because like I'm blanking on the name. Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy. The main character there, he also practiced archery, and one of the after he gets isekai'd and a lot of shenanigans. It's not some. It's a lot of shenanigans take place. He has a little segment where he's like mentioning of like, yes, need to work on refining my archery and like becoming like one with the bow, and like this is my way of archery. I'm like, way of archery? I heard him say a funny word. Let me go look that up. So yes. Know a little something, but not enough to actually hold a conversation. We'll leave it at that. Okay, cool.
そう。気苦労が絶えないのね、相変わらず。
他人事だからって言ってくれるわ。あ、ついでだから見ていく？登坂が見学する分には男どもも喜ぶけど。
弓道部か。
I'm acquainted with 3 of its members. One is Ayako, the girl I'm talking to now. I barely ever speak with the other 2. Of those later 2, or latter 2, there's one that I actually can't explain away as simply an acquaintance. I became friends with Ayako, the club captain, because I've been watching the club from afar.
そうね。様子を見るだけなら付き合うわ。早く来すぎたからやることもないし。
よし、じゃあ善は急げ。早速行こう。
One of our school's trademarks is its well-equipped archery range.
Look at that.
I know. Looking official or something. See, the chair to the school's board has a passion for Kyoto, traditional Japanese archery. So they built a magnificent range on campus. It's kind of a waste for a high school club, to be honest, but you know.
Gotta get to the Olympics
ほら
somehow.
ほら、まだ開始まで時間があるし、中でお茶しようぜ、登坂。
Ayako tugs on my arm, looking somewhat pleased. If I'm being honest, her brisk way of speaking is a bad habit. As Ayako says, there's no one else at the range.
Like, look at this.
I know. That's at least
That's a lot of
5, 6,
yards.
7, 8. That's at least 8 people that can line up and fire at once. And I don't think that we're at the edge of the wall.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen how long it takes to run from one end to another in the anime. It's a big fucking range.
Oh gosh. That's amazing though. And the
For a high school
president,
club, yeah.
yeah, and the president of the school just said, I mean, we're just going to sink all of our funds in this for the next 5 years. Don't worry about it. Trust.
We're gonna get Japan into the Olympics, believe me.
And then everyone agreed. And here we are. So we sip Japanese tea that's so hot it numbs my tongue as we prepare ahead for today's classes. Hate it when that happens.
When you burn your tongue so bad, you just can't taste anything else for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I am not a fan. Let's see. The hot drink is delicious in the quiet, wintry archery range.
さて、単刀直入に聞くけど、そっちの調子はどうなのよ、遠坂。いい加減頼りになる相棒は見つかった？
Oh. And she uses the occasion to ask me about something completely ridiculous.
ほんと、いきなり本題に入るのね、あなたは。その言いぶりだと、そっちはもう見つけたんだ。
Oh.
ノーコメント。遠坂
This is why I say that, by the way.
こっちも秘密さ。で、どうなのよ。その疲れた顔を見ると脈ありって感じだけど。
こっちもノーコメント。
No commento.
あなたに隠してもどうせ見抜かれるか。残念ながらこっちはまだよ。綾子の方はお互いのんびりしてる余裕はないはずだけど。
そうなんだけど、私も雲行きは怪しいわ。とりあえず取り繕うことはできるけど、ことがことでしょ。この先の命運がかかってるんだから、妥協するわけにもいかないし。
勝手に決めて私に負けるのも嫌？
もちろん、私にとって重要なのはあんたを任すことだもの。何が手に入るとか、何を手に入れるとかは二の次よ。
This is how you know they're real good friends.
I know. Really just said, I actually don't care who I end up with as long as I beat you. Dang. She chuckles confidently.
似た者同士ね、私たち。
ええ、初めて会った時に言ったでしょ。あんたとはそういう関係にあるんだって。
She did, didn't she? Kill or be killed. Sure, that's how it'll be between the two of us. I was genuinely surprised to have someone say that right off the bat. Translator's note. Our friendship won't bloom unless we're constantly trading blows.
My kind of friendship.
That's what Hayako is getting at. I agree with her. The 2 years since then, I still haven't figured out whether she's my friend or my nemesis. Best friend enemies.
ところでさ、私たちなんでこんな話してるんだっけ？
なんでって言い出したのは遠坂でしょ。あんたがいつまでも彼氏がいないのは女としてどうよなんてこぼすもんだから。なら3年になる前にどっちが先に男作るかって勝負になったんじゃない。
ああ、そうだった。売り言葉に買い言葉ってやつだった。で、遅れを取った方が一日言いなりになるんだっけ？
ええ、今時子供でも交わさない約束だけど、あんたと私に限って往生際が悪いってことはないでしょ。
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
どんな結果になろうと、負けた方はおとなしく勝者に従うことになる。それを思うと私は今から楽しみで楽しみで。
Ayako snickers in delight. My goodness. Ayako Mitsuzuri is, to put it mildly, a handful. I'll admit, I'm looking forward to winning myself, so that goes for us both.
そうけど三辻さん、楽しむのは結構だけど
Carry on.
目
I need
的
to
を
use
たがらないよう
leisure.
気をつけなさい。勝負の内容は後先だけじゃないでしょ。
分かってるって。遠坂より早く遠坂が心底羨ましがるような関係にならないと完全勝利とは言えないからね。
Yeah?
ま、私たちにとってはそれが一番厄介な問題なんだが、どんなにいい男だろうと好きになれなきゃ意味がない。
Ayako's sigh is heavy. From what I've heard, she's known as a bit of Miss Andrews. Can't put too much stock in gossip, though. That she made the bet at all means that she doesn't. That just means less that she doesn't like boys and more that she hasn't found the right person. There we go. Kept skipping over words. That aside.
ちょっと、私たちって何よ、私たちって。断っておきますけど、私はそっちと違って冷血感じゃありません。男の子を好きになるなんて問題でも何でもないわ。
Okay.
ああ、それ嘘。もしくは気づいていないだけ。遠坂が男を気にかけるなんてことは絶対ないもの。今まで数えきれないぐらい告白されたくせに一つも色良い返事してないじゃない。少しでも興味があるなら付き合おうって思うでしょ。なのに断り続ける。
発想が貧困ね。その場合、すでに好きな相手がいるから断ってるって話もありじゃない？
うわ、すっごい美談。いいね、そういうの。ロマンだな。
Ayako's tone isn't mocking. She nods solemnly. Sai tells me that it would be nice if it were true. I don't believe it myself. I really can't hide anything from her.
そうね。私もそう思う。
Right? I know very well how cold I am.
認めるわ。私、こと恋愛に関しては素人みたい。
That's putting it politely.
Uh,
そういうこと。似た者同士だって言ったの遠坂でしょ。ってもうじき7時か。秘密の話はこの辺にしとこう。いつ人がやってくるかわからないし、朝になったら学生らしく振る舞わないとな。
まあ、三辻さんにもそういう世間体があったなんて意外だわ。ええ、これだけでも早起きした甲斐があった
So
みたい。
sassy.
I know.
あんたほど筋金入ってないけどね。私の世間体なんて遠坂凛に比べたら灯籠の斧ってもんよ。あんたの猫っかぶりは擬態っていうより別人格のレベルよ。別人格。
They said it's an alternate personality. Aiko sniffs exaggeratedly. I empty the rest of the teacup she poured me and brew a new pot.
で、遠坂はどうして部活に入らないのよ。運動神経がないなんてざれ言は聞かないからね。 私は去年の体力測定でことごとくあんたに負けたのまだ恨んでるんだから。
あら、肺活量では三辻さんに負けたわよ、私。あと、体重も三辻さんのが上だったけど。
Dang.
やったー、重さで3キロ上回ったって体重で勝っても嬉しくないってのよ、このタヌキ。
このタヌキcalled that girl a fox.
Oh
No,
my
Tanuki to be
god.
specific. Oh my god.
That was good. That was
You're
real
just
good.
throwing that out of nowhere. Hold on. I forgot about that.
Oh man. Aiko slaps the table.
危ない。お茶がこぼれるでしょ、三辻さん。首相なんだから道場は大事になさい。
うるさい。私は首相である前に遠坂のライバル。
Somewhere after that.
Yeah. Not even next. Not even like third place. It can be anywhere. It can be last.
部員がいなけりゃあんたに食ってかかるのは当然よ。
Oh wow. Aiko side eyes me with a huff. She has a unique idea about beauty. A beautiful woman must walk the martial path. It's always going on about that. Not surprisingly, she's well versed in most martial arts. Oh, that's cool. Judo was a discipline she was least skilled at, so she joined the club and worked her way up to captain. Dang. Whoa, there is spam in the chat. Somebody go fry it up.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. There's a complete quartet of spam.
Little barbershop over there. Now that we're out the range.
I'm definitely malicious. Open my links. Oh gosh. Yeah, so she's probably one of the top 3 people in our school you'd least want to mess with.
あら、部員がいなければ首相じゃないなんて問題発言じゃないそれ。
問題発言なもんですか。私はお飾りの首相だから、できることって言ったら不良部員を取り締まることだけよ。私以上にしゃがりっぱなやつがいるんだから、首相としての面目なんてないわ。
そうなの？藤村先生、三辻さんは飛び抜けてうまいって言ってたけど。
あの人がそう言うんなら、そりゃ少しは自信が持てるけど、まあいなくなっちまったやつのことなんて考えても仕方ないか。
Putting a lot of emphasis on this deserter.
藤村先生がそう言ってくれたんなら、真面目に首相やんないとまずいか。
Yeah. But, you know, if he was your ace in the hole, then I would say
That means you
well.
win by default.
Ain't that the truth?
そうそう。噂をすれば影。そろそろ部員がやってくる頃でしょ。私はおいとまするけど、三辻さんはきちんと首相になりなさい。
何？見ていかないの？シャ。
見てもわからないもの。遠くから眺める分にはいいけどね。不心得者が道場にいるわけにはいかないでしょ。
Just as I get up to lead, the first club members begin entering the archery range.
おはようございます、首相。
ああ、おはよう、マト。今朝は一人？
Was a motto with you, girl.
はい、力になれず申し訳ありません。
Oh, they are really pushing him.
ああ、いいっていいって。本人が弓をやらないって言うんなら無理をさせても仕方がない。
Aiko speaks to the first club member to
それじゃあ失礼
arrive.
するわ。また後でね、三辻さん。
ああ、また後でね、遠坂。
お疲れ様です、遠坂先輩。ありがとう。さくらもしっかりね。
I leave the JoJo behind so as to not get in the way.
いやあ、遠坂。おはよう。朝から君に会えるなんてついてるな。
Oh no. And here comes the person I least wanted to see.
おはよう、マトくん。今日は早いのね。
当たり前だろ。首相なんだから。早めに来ないと一年に示しがつかないじゃないか。
Shinji Mato from Class 2C grins at me. He's the vice captain of the Kyoto Club and darling of half the girls at school. Okay. Actually, the new guy I just met in P3. He's like Ryanosuke or something like that.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. And he's just habitually a flirt. He could turn it off even if he wanted to. And he's just smooth with it too. Truly, the definition of a smooth operator.
We'll see how Shinji stacks up.
Yes, I'm curious to see. It's mostly thanks to his looks, of course, but he's also admired for his good grades, social graces, and being kind to girls, and being an overall heartthrob, or something like that. Okay. So he actually has more than just the looks going on. I really don't follow that kind of stuff. It's just what I hear my classmates say.
そう。ご機嫌なところ悪いんだけど、一文字抜けてるわ、マトくん。大事な字だから忘れない方がいいと思うけど。
一文字抜けてるって何？
幸福の福。字は違うけど響きは一緒でしょ、副首相さん。気をつけなさい。別に首相も副首相も変わらないけど、変に意識するとこだわってるみたいに聞こえるでしょ。
Finish him.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, hold on. I'm pretty sure we just met the actual captain. So, but yeah.
そうだね。今後は気をつける。ありがとう、遠坂。
お礼を言われるようなことはしてないけど、まあ、マト君がそう思ったのなら私には関係ないか。
And with that, I turn to leave the range.
ちょっと待てよ。見学に来たんだろ。なら見ていけばいいじゃないか。
遠慮するわ。練習の邪魔をしたくないもの。
そんなの構わないよ。他の連中が気に障るんなら締め出すからさ。ちょっと寄っていけって。
だから邪魔をする気はないって言ってるでしょ。それに私、別に弓道に興味があるわけじゃないから。知らないやつのシャを見ても嬉しくないわ。
Dang.
なんだよ、遠坂。 弓道に興味はなかったのか。へえ。だっていうのに放課後になると遠くから見てたのはそういうわけかな。
Oh ho. Time for the counter offense. I don't know what he's playing at, but he seems to have seriously misunderstood things.
なんだ、知ってたの、マト君。
ああ、よく目があったんだぜ。僕と遠坂。社を終えてさ、斬新の時に限って遠坂は僕を見ていたろ。
Better back up, Seaweed.
Oh my gosh.
声を返したかったけど一応決まりでね。車上では声を上げちゃいけないんだ。
Is that how it is? Oh,
Personal space? Personal space?
or roll it back, buddy. Shinji starts closing in on me, looking pleased with himself. Gotta roll it back lest you get a big smack. See the triumphant glint in his eye, competing with that affable smile.
勘違いしてたよ。遠坂は弓が好きなんだと思ってたけど、弓道には興味がないんだろ。ならなんで遠坂は道場を見ていたのかな。
Okay.
Don't you talk to us like that with that tone of voice, mister.
Ah, now I see. It would sound like that, wouldn't it?
離れてくれないかしら、マト君。私、あまり人に近寄られるのは好きじゃないし。
Better back the fuck up before you get smacked the fuck up.
なに遠坂。
あきれた。ここまで言ってもわからないのね。趣味じゃないけど仕方ないか。簡単にあなたにも理解できるように言ってあげる。
Break it down for him.
いい、マト君。私は弓道に興味がない以上にあなたに興味はないって言ってるのよ。実際あなたが車上にいたなんて今初めて知ったぐらいだし、きっとこれからも目に入らないわ。
Fatality! Oh my god!
Just took this man to the cleaners.
I thought murder was illegal in Japan.
Obviously, girl knows some ways to get around it.
なんだと。
Ah, the facade breaks. I must have touched the nerve because he tries to grab me roughly. Oh no, this will be his last mistake. I twist out of his reach and turn to leave.
それじゃあね、マト君。自意識過剰なのも結構だけど、ほどほどにしておいた方がいいわよ。
遠坂、お前。
Shinji sounds like he's about to say something, but he keeps his temper and doesn't chase after me. Good, he at least has the illusion of self-control. The guy is all style, no substance.
Oh, she came back for the double tap. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm. If he had even a little backbone, the people around him wouldn't suffer nearly so much. Dang. I take the rear entrance into campus from the archery range. It's past 7 now, but there still aren't any students in the hallways.
あれ、遠坂さんだ。
おはようございます、藤村先生。
おはよう遠坂さん。ちゃんと挨拶してくれて先生は嬉しいよ。
Why wouldn't they be? The strange woman pretends to sob in delight. Okay. May be hard to believe, but this extraordinarily affectionate and happy-go-lucky woman is actually a teacher here.
先生、ちゃんと挨拶をする以外にする挨拶があるのでしょうか？
あるわよ。1年生はちゃんと挨拶してくれるんだけどね、上級生になってくると私の名字で挨拶しないんだから。遠坂さんはああいう輩の真似しちゃダメだからね。
I could not imagine pulling up to my math teacher's class and be like, "What's up, Matt?" You kidding me?
Yeah. Not even the hopefully equivalent of what they're doing, Mr. Matt, would even make it better. But I can even imagine that they're probably like, okay, they're like Fujimura-san, and then as soon as they make it to the next grade, they're like, let's assume her first name Shirley, because it's in the chat, and they're just like, oh, Shirley Chan, how's your day going? It's like, it's your teacher, can't be using Chan with them.
I'm like 20 years older than you. You were 2 when I played my first video game.
Nah, she's probably got all of maybe 10 years on the students here.
Yeah, I'll say 10.
But yes, you're right. It really doesn't make it much better.
はあ、よくわかりませんけど、先生に失礼なことはしませんが。
よしよし。ああ、みんながみんな遠坂さんみたいだったらいいのにな。
A parting wave and a see ya. Miss Fujimura leaves. Fortunately, she isn't my homeroom teacher. Miss Fujimura teaches English. Okay. Her sunny attitude bellies her expert rank in Japanese fencing. Her student days, they called her the Fuyuki Tiger. My gosh. And girl said, check this out. That's the mystery, though. You'd think someone known as a tiger would be feared and adored, right? There are 2 ways to see a tiger. Oh no, it's so cute and adorable. And oh no, I'm about to die.
I didn't think they'd eat my face.
Just that antelope over there. I know that is not the correct area, but it's the first animal that came to mind.
We like lions, it's okay. There's a girl here very lion-coded. We'll see when we get to her.
Okay. Fujimura cheerily heads off in the direction of the archery range. For some reason, she's the faculty advisor for the Kyoto Club instead of the Kendo Club.
I'll tell you why. They don't have a kendo club. Also, can we pause here, like, genuinely? There's food, and I want to be back for this reason, for this next part.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Get some water. So, I'll be right back.
Okay. There's a pirata here actually, which it took me a minute to remember what that was. It is a large tortilla with beefsteak and white cheese. So I'm going to be munching away.
Oh, now that sounds delicious.
It
Go
came
get
with
some
a
food
lime.
myself.
Yeah, water's very important. You're the main reader here until we find some F-bombs.
Indeed.
I'm so glad I'm just the cusser.
But don't worry, if you want to read more, just let me know.
I understand.
Uh,
This is my favorite visual novel. This is the novel that made me who I am. I can tag in whenever.
let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna just keep reading.
You got this, buddy.
All right, so it's just before 7:30. Actually, this time. I can see students doing their club activities on the school grounds, but there's hardly anyone indoors. Except
遠坂
this guy.
Such animosity.
I know. He always blurts out my name like I did something wrong every time he sees me.
あら、生徒会長。こんな朝早くから校舎の見回り？それとも各部室の手入れかしら？どっちでもいいけど相変わらず豆ね、そういうとこ。
Are you sure that you haven't done something to deserve his reaction? Because as things stand, I'm sensing some animosity on your end too.
そういうお前こそ何を企んでいる。部活動もしていないお前がこんな早くに何の用か。
Doing their tit for tat.
ただの気まぐれよ。竜斗くんちみたいに早起きじゃないもの、私。
Now that's a powerful name right there.
Okay, so it seems like this is more than I guess. We go to the same sex school and we see each other a lot. The student council president's handsome face darkens with suspicion. Seems to have it out for me. I really don't know why.
I don't believe you.
I'm saying. Maybe me saying temples are so dull past is what started it. Say stuff like that. Because I'm gonna assume he's the son of the priest of a temple or something generic like that.
一つ聞いておくが、最近夜遅くまで校舎にいたことはあるか、遠坂。
ないわね。私が帰宅部だって知ってるでしょ、竜斗くんは。
当然だ。生徒会長を任された以上、全校生徒の情報は把握している。
そう。なら私に聞くまでもないでしょ。なんだってそんなことを聞くか知らないけど、生徒会の仕事を部外者に押し付けちゃまずいんじゃない？
Yeah?
情報収集は一人でやりなさいよ。私みたいな部外者に頼らないで。
たわけ、お前のどこが部外者だ。うちの会計の首根っこ掴んで悪さをしたのを知らぬと思ったが、このめぎつれ。
Oh my gosh.
あら、人聞きが悪いわね。あれは三辻さんに頼まれて部費の割合を明らかにしただけでしょ。みんなの予算がどこに使われているか調べるなんて生徒として当然の行為だと思うけど。
Oh, y'all embezzling funds?
なんと、うちの会計を1週間休ませた精神的ダメージが当然の行為なのか。とんでもない倫理観をお持ちのようだな、相変わらず。
あなたもね、部下の手綱ぐらいちゃんと握ってなさい。
Yeah, this
文
isn't
化系
just
ば
a
かり
ma-
ひいきするのはフェアじゃないわ。
I'll have words about this when we get back to this part.
Okay.
わかっている。だからこそ俺の手で不正を正したかったのだが。
Whoa.
Okay, now pull up the voice chat. Now.
All right.
He is supposed to have a voice.
Let's see. This key. There we go. Let's see. Supposed to have a voice, you say. Sound sentence.
There he is.
It really did
No.
just mute this man.
Okay, you can exit back now. Or I guess confirm. He's the only one that's muted.
Yeah. Take it back now, y'all. Actually, here, click save. Just then. Alright. Back to the appearance of the boy. Just then, an unexpected visitor makes his presence known.
と、悪い。頼んだのはこっちなのに、エミヤに任せっきりにしてしまった。許せ。
Look at that. Boys confirming exactly what we just said, pawning off all of his work onto other people.
そんなこと気にするな。で、次はどこだよ。あん
You
まり時間
recognize
ない
that
ぞ。
voice, by the way.
Wait, let me listen a little more.
ああ、次は視聴覚室だ。前から調子が悪かったそうなんだが、この度ついに天寿を全うされた。
Oh no.
天寿全うしてたら直せないだろう。買い直した方が早いぞ。
Seems a smidgen familiar, but I can't quite place it.
Once he exits the stage, I'll see if you figure it out by then.
Huh.
そうなんだが、一応見てくれると助かる。俺から見れば臨終だが、お前から見れば仮病かもしれん。
He's something of a repairman, eh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Handyman Namiya? Alright, alright.
そうか。なら試そう。
Beckoned by the other student, the president leaves. I stopped thinking during the sudden turn of events. Head empty. The other boy, wrench and screwdriver in hand, turns as if he's remembered something.
朝早いんだな、遠坂。
Literally everyone. He awkwardly mutters and then leaves.
Okay. Last guess. That's Sasuke.
Oh.
I can understand why it's a little harder to pick up on because he's a lot less deep in this one.
Yeah. But
He's
okay.
certainly a little kinder sounding in here.
Yeah, he's no longer an edgy boy McEdge.
He's handyman Amiya.
Handyman Amiya. The only edge that he needs is on his tools. At least until the incident. Or something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
It's the prologue. There's plenty of time for incidents to happen.
Let's see, was that supposed to be a greeting? The president and the student called Amiya walk off into the distance. That would be Shiro and Mika from class 2C.
The word for white. I see.
Yeah. That's two people from 2C. We now know.
Oh no. Mitsuzuri was 2A, wasn't she?
Yes. Yeah, because she's in our class.
Who is the other one in 2C?
The guy. The jerk.
Right. Shinji Mato. It took me a minute. I try to put Shinji out of my mind most days.
Understandable. He was in the like recent memory that hasn't been like cleared yet, so that's why he gets to be remembered. This will be the last time.
それはいいんだけどさ。
How do I put it? The wrench looked right at home in his hands, but I'm not sure if it's because it makes him look tough or handy. The stream should not be frozen.
No, it's still moving.
Yeah. I recommend refreshing. At 7:30 a.m., there's no one else in classroom 2A. Take a seat at my desk and flip through my math workbook. It's still 30 minutes until morning homeroom. I've got time to kill until my classmates start arriving. The classroom is lively as lunch break begins after fourth period. School has a cafeteria, so about only half the students stay in the room. As opposed to a school that doesn't have a cafeteria? Interesting. It's mostly girls that stay behind. The girls think the cafeteria is a bit too liberal with the seasoning. So.
Oh, look at this little puppy.
遠坂さん、よかったらお昼ご飯一緒に食べませんか?
This was the other one I was considering.
Like I said, lots of streams. Just cycle through them all. Let's see. Girls tend to enjoy our lunches as a group.
ありがとう、三枝さん。けどごめんなさい。私今日は学食なんです。今朝は寝過ごしてしまってお弁当を作る余裕がなかったものですから。
Yeah, overslept.
Well, it's a weird situation where she both over and underslept.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't exactly explain that on a dime here.
I mean, she could.
She could, she just doesn't want to, and that's the big thing here.
True.
Getting Rin to do something she doesn't want to do is like pulling teeth.
Dang.
ごめんなさい。そうとも知らず呼び止めてしまって。
How could someone as adorable as this ever ambush anybody?
Ain't that the truth? Precious baby. Pat, pat. Aw. Saigusa looked guiltily at her. Among the refined and well-behaved students of Class A, she's the most demure. For some reason,
Malfunction.
Huh?
I've been seeing that word fucking everywhere on Twitter. It's like the fucking Russian sleeper cell agent just activated when I saw it. Yeah.
Oh gosh. It's a sign. You should add it to your list of favorite
I
words.
refuse. Kotowaru.
Yeah. Like my favorite word is miasma.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Right? It's specifically because of Inuyasha. They're always in every other episode. Oh no, Naruku's miasma. And it always makes me laugh. So it's always a good day whenever I run into miasma. Feel free to drop that out of context.
I'm still blanking out. So don't even worry about it. We'll see if someone else gets it.
Yeah, we've got 2 viewers currently, so it's possible.
余計なことだなんてそんなことはありません。今日はたまたまだから気にしないで。また明
I'll hit her
日
with
こ
the
れに懲り
magic
ず声を
conch.
かけてください。
Try again later.
Right? Let's see, I let her down as gently as I can and offer a genuine smile. As opposed to a fake
はい。
one.
でも遠坂さんでも見過ごすことがあるんですね。
Yeah, he is in fact human. Perhaps my smile made her feel better. Segusa returned back to her table, looking relieved. She's adorable. I agree. Yukika Segusa isn't drop dead gorgeous, but her smile always puts everyone around her at ease.
ええ、そうなんです。なんとかごまかしてますけど、本当は寝ぼすけなんですよ、私。部活だって朝起きられないから入ってないんです。
Segusa somehow maintains an elegant air, even when startled. Watching her reactions is always so calming, but that doesn't mean I have time to just stand here and talk. If I keep up a conversation with someone so disarming, the real me is bound to show herself. Right, because of the whole multiple personality thing.
The man in the mirror is
それ
a
じゃあ
schizo,
食
okay?
堂に行ってきます。
Yeah.
三枝さんもごゆっくり。はい、遠坂さんも。
Segusa and I exchange some grateful greetings as she returns to her friends. I see that she's eating with Kaede Makidera and Kane Himuro. Alright, wasn't Segusa the track and field club manager? Makidera and Himuro are the track and field club's rising stars. Okay. Makidera is a bad influence with whom I go window shopping on days off, but I don't know Himuro too well.
売られたね、ゆきっち。だから言ったでしょ。遠坂は弁当持ってこないって。釣りたかったらあいつの分も飯用意しないとね。
Dang.
You like caramel here, right?
マキ
Of course.
それは私たちも食堂に移動すればいいだけの話では。
ダメダメ。食堂は狭いんだから。弁当組が座れるスペースなんてねっての。それに遠坂と同席してみなさい。男どもの視線がうざいのなんの。
Dang.
前の休みだってさ、二人で遊びに行ったのにあいつだけ得しちゃってさ。やだよね、美
人を鼻にかけた優等生は
I know, an overachiever and swanky. Makidera takes hold of Saigusa's desk as she continues to rant about me. Despite her foul mouth, she's actually wears a kimono very well, like a picturesque Japanese beauty.
牧野氏、君の陰口は遠坂城に聞こえているようだが。
Meanwhile, Kimuro's cool and solid demeanor are a complete foil to that of Makidera.
やべ、遠坂に聞かれた。ゲゲ、めっちゃ睨んでるじゃん、あいつ。
I mean, what do you expect to happen?
別に遠坂さん、マキちゃんを睨んでなんかないと思うけど。
睨んでんだよ、あれ。あいつは笑ってる時が一番怖いんだから。なんだよ、いいじゃんか、口ぐらい。多めに見ろよ。私と遠坂の仲だろ。たい焼きおごってやっただろ。
Dang. Kaede Makidera puffs her cheeks out in a pout, waving her disposable chopsticks in the air. Would you believe that her hobby is collecting wind chimes? The world works in strange ways. Huh. I would not have expected that.
I don't think I know anybody who I'd guess wind chime collecting, to be honest.
Fair. Fair. It is a very rare hobby. At any rate, it's rude to Saigusa to stare at the three of them. Caught between me and the foul-mouthed Makidera, Saigusa looks like she doesn't know what to do with herself.
気にしないでいいのよ、三枝さん。それと牧寺さん、おごらされたのは私で、
dang.
品物はたい焼きではなくクレープでした。無意識に事実を改ざんする
difference.
次あたりに直さないと考えますよ。
Dang, flip the script and set the record straight.
マジ怖え、あの笑顔。
Dang. Makidera holds up her lunchbox leg like some kind of shield. I bid the odd trio farewell, leave the classroom, and slide the door closed. Oops.
なんだよ、大差ないじゃんか、たい焼きもクレープも。どっちも甘いの皮で包んでるんだからさ。
I mean, yeah. You're not wrong. I agree. Makidera utters something blasphemous for a girl. Dang. Oh.
たい焼きとクレープが同じですって？
Is she even human? Are all desserts the same to her? Oh my gosh. If I'd known that her taste buds can't distinguish Fleur's 500 yen very, very, very from an 80 yen taiyaki at Edo Maya. Your cue. This is your moment. You've been waiting all
Damn
night for
you,
this.
Kaede Makidera. I could have saved 420 yen.
Dang.
I like that that's the main thing she's offended by. Not the fact that she called them the same, but the price.
Which, you know, as the young rich scion of her family, which is her herself, and guess what? Her again. Yeah,
Her
money gotta
only
come
adult
from where.
her only adult friend in her life is the fucking priest, who we've yet to see, by the way.
Yep, with all the good trivia.
It's not every day you have a friend who's a padre, you know?
True.
Like a pastor, maybe, but a father? Like a father? Like father because he serves God? Like, that's a whole different thing.
True. It's pretty rare. That's what I'm saying. Like, girl, roll it back. I must still be tired from last night. The cafeteria sounds like a pain, so I'll just buy some bread from the counter and eat on the roof.
The classic.
It's a classic.
I've seen this roof like 12 times in every visual novel I've ever been in.
Yeah. Every school's got to have one. I mean, quite literally. Whether or not it's accessible, now that's another story.
Let alone by students.
True. I purchase my lunch and head to the unoccupied roof. Though it's different in the summertime, during the winter, the roof is a convenient place to eat that other students tend to avoid. Yeah, well, yeah, so it is technically winter, even if it is a relatively mild one. And it's too cold to hang out here during lunch, but that's a small price to pay for privacy.
さて、とりあえずご飯と。
I indulge in the tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink I buy from the cafeteria. It's a simple lunch, made all the more delicious by the fact I can enjoy it up here in Greece. Now, who else is here and why is their name Mia? I finish the sandwich and sip on the warm lemony drink. I'm a little tired. It's hard to balance being an overachiever with avoiding human contact as much as possible.
I disagree. That seems like those two things overlap perfectly, actually.
Yeah, this is true. The minimum human contact does enable you to focus and be even more of an overachiever. I agree. As the saying goes, one should be accomplished at both the pen and the sword. It's a point of pride, no, conviction, that I be the top student of the school. I don't know about all that. Yeah, you put in your best effort, but I decided that if I was going to be a student, then I would be the very best. Like no one ever was. I don't want people looking down on the Tosaka name. That's how Rin Tosaka came to be a perfect, flawless student. On the other hand, my occupation as a mage is dangerous, so I couldn't associate too much with normal people. Okay, that's a reasonable reason. Oh, yeah, there's that thing you were just saying. When a mage is discovered by the public, she has no choice but to eliminate witnesses to protect herself. I'd rather not resort to that. That's why I keep my social interactions purely superficial, out of necessity. I only hang out with Makidera on my days off. I turn down invitations with more sociable people like Segusa.
You get this little pure ball of sunshine, the mask starts slipping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's difficult walking the tightrope of being the number one student at school while making sure I don't become somebody or anybody else's number one. And sure, there are times when it tires me out and I feel like life is a real drag.
もう時間か。
I finished the hot lemon drink and stand up. That's enough sentimentality for today. Time to go back downstairs and become Ren Tosaka again.
ではホームルームを終了する。日直は西と戸締まりの確認を。
You
部
know
活
this
動
man
の
is
ない
business
生徒
because he
は
has an actual
速やかに
sprite.
帰宅するように。
Yeah. Class 2A's teacher gives his usual spiel and leaves the room. As far as I know, he said it exactly the same way all year.
遠坂、今日はもうお帰り？
ええ、朝方麻藤君と一件あったし、面倒になる前に帰るわ。
やっぱりそうか。麻藤のやつ、今朝は特に荒れてたからさ。遠坂に手ひどく扱われたんだろうなって思ってた。
Went through more than a ringer.
そう、迷惑をかけてしまったかしら、三辻さん。
別に、麻藤が下級生をいびるのはいつものことだし。あれはあれでいい精神鍛錬になるよ。
そう、よかった。じゃあこの埋め合わせはまた今度。
はいはい、これに懲りずまた寄っていってちょうだい。
I make my way home without taking any detours. My time as Ren Tosaka, the honor student, ends once I leave the school. The next half of the day is reserved for the other me. I have to become a mage of the Tosaka. When I arrive back at the house, I'm greeted with the pulsing light of my answering machine.
留守電なんて珍しいな。相手はやっぱりあんたか、キレ。
I have a feeling I know what he's going to say, but I better listen or I won't hear the end of it later. I press the play button. I press the play button and hear a familiar male voice.
私だ。分かっていると思うが、期限は明日までだぞ、リン。
That is Joji Nakata. Let me pull up some of his roles. You might recognize him from a couple things, actually.
I probably would.
I forget that is. He's Joji, but he's also George, because that's just. Yes, Shirley. Actor. Can I? Son of a bitch. Let's see here. Have you played Shin Megami Tensei 5?
Yes.
He's Hayataro.
I don't think I've met them yet.
Oh wow, he voices Soul Bad Guy? I was not aware of that. Oh, he also voices Sojiro Sakura from Persona 5.
Oh, okay.
Does he have a role in Hellsing? I swear he had a role in Hellsing. What year was Hellsing? Ultimate, I guess.
I honestly don't know.
Well, first, let me actually check if he's in Hellsing. Aha! He's Alucard in 2001.
Hmm.
He's Alucard, period, actually, I should say.
All right. It's just that guy.
That's the guy. So that was the big one. I was like, where have I heard this name before?
Oh, okay. I retract my earlier statement. I have, in fact, met Hayataro.
He's a very distinctive voice. You start to recognize it everywhere when you hear him as Kirei. Kirei being a particular word, isn't it? I forget what it means in particular. Isn't it like light or pretty?
It is pretty, yes.
Beautiful. There it is. That's the big one. Okay. And if you want to take it in the way of like Latin church names, it can also be read as Kyrie. Which is fitting for a church guy, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess that implies that this is the priest.
Yeah, that this is the priest.
Okay.
Girl has one adult friend, okay?
Fair enough. We did, in fact, just establish this.
あまり悠長に構えられては困る。残る席はあと2つだ。
Okay, maybe he's a car salesman.
I'm calling to tell you about your car's extended warranty. You have 2 days to accept.
He is not a bridged Alucard, but a bridged Kirei in Fate Zero and a bridged Alucard are the same, actually. That's pretty funny. Carry on.
I must ensure all of the masters are in order soon. Oh, so there is more to this priest than meets the eye.
And he specifically said master, as in like the English word too.
Right.
And it's capitalized like that.
Yeah, like I noticed. We talking magician, get ready for the great war, holy grail, blah 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 blah. It's time. All right, so it's like in case you were wondering who it is, the priest cuts straight to the point.
マスターの権利を放棄するというのなら、今日中に連絡しろ。予備の魔術師を派遣するにも時間がかかる。
We're cutting it close, ain't we?
Yeah. Liar, I bet you could find a backup right away.
Girl called him mentiroso. Oh my god.
I mean, to be fair, he said it'll take time. He didn't say how much time.
お前にはすでに0時の兆しが現れているのだ。さっさとサーバントを召喚し、0時を開け。
Send your servant and bind them to it. I wonder who it gonna be.
もっとも、聖杯戦争に参加しないというのならば話は別だ。命が惜しいのなら、早々に教会に駆け込むがいい。
Now, have you heard that whole thing before? Holy Grail War, because...
I mean, we heard it in the prologue. The prologue's prologue.
I see, because it's a pretty high fucking title, I think.
Yeah. Like, really everybody's talking about Holy Grail War this, Holy Grail War that. What it is that we're actually fighting for. I mean, obviously the Holy Grail, but like what that is in
Like, we
this
could find Monty
universe.
Python at the end, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like I just know Monty's. But I'm pretty sure we're also not going for like your traditional thing of yes, let's go find the chalice. It flies in the air and says, "Come find me. I'm in a random place in the world."
Well, the Holy Grail, in terms of like how it is known generally, is like the chalice that had Christ's blood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that's all. That's what I could say about what we know about the Holy Grail, like in our world.
Right, right, right. Yeah. And
The
of course we'll find out what it means in the context of this world.
Yeah, no,
Time
I
goes
leave the
on.
rest up to speculation because I do not. I don't want to give anything away.
Understandable.
I'm a blabbermouth, you understand.
Darn. There goes my plan.
Keikaku.
Keikaku Dori Janitis. Stop. Let's see. The voicemail ends. It was a clear message in simple language. If you're going to fight, then be ready about a day. If you aren't, then retire because you're in the way. Some good poetry. Well done.
He did specifically say if you want protection, come to the church too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did notice that. Fear for your life.
言われなくても分かってるわよ。
It's only to be expected, I guess. Today's the last day I can drag this out. Why were you dragging it out? Oh, right, because you were waiting to decipher your father's notes. Okay, this makes more sense.
Like, unless you're Orpheus, it's generally a good idea to have a plan going in.
No, I think it's just always good to have a plan, full stop.
Wow, you're just leaving Orph out to dry. I see how it is.
No, I'm not saying that it's possible for things to work out well or at least halfway decently with the lack of a plan. I'm just saying, as a rule of thumb, have a plan if possible.
Yeah, no, because if Pomps left you notes on, hey, I know I'm not gonna win this, so I'm gonna leave you notes. You better pray that you get those notes ready before the battle.
That's the truth. This is why you always go and talk to other people who have taken tests that you're working on, especially like certifications and things like that.
Consult the wiki.
Yeah. Learn all them good test taking strats. Especially whenever your life is on the line. But my battle preparations are in order. All that's left is to seize the right to participate, as he said. Oh, okay. Let's do some summoning then.
聖杯戦争。たった一つきりの聖杯を奪い合う殺し合い。何百年も前から伝わってきた聖杯の儀式か。
Okay, so it is in fact the chalice in this case. Why it just keeps going on for quite literally centuries doesn't make any sense, but okay, carry on. What do you get if you win? Like, what does obtaining the chalice do for you? Put it that way. Mages who take part in the Holy Grail War are called Mastas. Doesn't denote a rank of any kind, it merely describes their role. There's a condition to participate in the Holy Grail War. You must summon a familiar called the Servant, form a contract. Regardless of your skills as a mage, you are not recognized as a master unless you command a servant. There's a clear difference, however, between servants and normal familiars. The way you summon and use them are different. Mages who plan to fight in the Holy Grail War prepare a summoning catalyst, but
ほんと父さんもセイバーにゆかりのものを残してくれればよかったのに。
the plot thickens. Okay, so she wishes that she coulda, woulda had something to make it easier to directly summon Saber.
She wants some help with her gotcha pull, is what it is.
Right. Understandable. I would too. I don't own any relics with a connection to a servant. I can summon one, yes. In fact, I could do it right now if I wanted to, as well as form a contract. This town's ley lines are under the jurisdiction of the Tosaka. And I'm the heir to a clan that's administered the land for generations, so my performance will not take a backseat to some visiting mage. Though while that is true, it'd be awfully incompetent of me to embark on a figurative voyage without a compass. Yeah, that's true.
サーバントはシンボルによって引き寄せられる。強力なサーバントを呼び出したいのなら、そのサーバントにゆかりのあるものが必要不可欠なのだ。
In other words, I need some outrageously valuable item, like a sword or a piece of armor that servant owned, or maybe a bone or heraldry related to them. Dang. Said, let me go find their grave real quick, take this bone and summon them. Is this where the bone of my bone comes from?
Well, like, if you have like a chunk of like the round table, like the round table, well, you might not get someone in particular. You narrowed your search down to somebody who was at that table.
Oh yeah. I mean, I completely understand. It makes sense. It's just the fact that they're like, not just these various symbols, which makes sense, but quite literally, if possible, let me go find their grave, steal a bone. I'll replace it later. Don't you worry. But for
It's like,
right
you
now,
know how like they like how they keep Saints' old body parts locked up. Like that would be the perfect catalyst.
you right. That is what they do. Mike cracks it open one day and discovers, oh my god, it's empty. Because of all these mage people keeps popping in, taking another bone, but never returning it.
Because they keep dying before they can.
Mm-hmm.
父さんの遺言に期待してたんだけどな。これはこれでものすごい切り札なんだけど。
A trump card, you say? Show me the power. Oh, right, the pendant. Let's see, the pendant I discovered in the basement last night is an ancient artifact of the highest quality. Makes sense? It's amazing, all on its own. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it's just a really fancy rock with some power imbued in it.
Lots of power, but still.
いいわよ。そんなものに頼らなくたってなんとかなるわ。そもそも私以外にセーバーを扱えるマスターなんているはずないし。
Shuffles.
It's funny because we know that she's not the one who gets Saber at all.
Yeah, we do.
That's the one thing that everyone's gonna be spoiled on anyway, just because of how popular Saber is as a character now.
Yes.
That's okay. There's still plenty of things you've yet to be spoiled on because it's deep, because no one likes to read.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'm taking everything in stride and only working off of the information provided here. Generally
So we're just
speaking.
gonna sit here with our dramatic irony and watch this play out.
Exactly.
She's gonna fail her 5-star pull. she's gonna fail pity.
Dang. Imagine pulling the gotcha in real life. All right, I've made up my mind. I'd rather. Oh, actually, hold on. That reminds me. Speaking of gotchas and also related to Fate. Um, so you know
Yeah.
David, right?
I know Mr. Marwa.
Yes, exactly. So he was telling me the other day about because he plays one of the Fate mobile games and everything, and there was like a new character release. He was like, "Oh yeah, I really want this one. It'd be really cool if I got him." And he was at work at the time, and his coworker, who is notoriously lucky, like you know how like within the group I am the most lucky,
Mm-hmm.
like she is objectively lucky. Like story that she mentioned to him is like um she was at some type of function like with their job or whatever, and they had a raffle for a prize, and she of course is partaking in it, and whenever they're getting ready to start drawing everything, she got up and started walking to the stage, and lo and behold they called her name.
Uh,
Yeah. So therefore, um hearing this, David was like, "Yo, hey, I need you to press a button for me." Gives gives her his phone, has her press a button. She goes and walks into the next room, and lo and behold, he gets not only the 5-star uh character of that banner, but he also got the whatever 4-star character was also on that banner.
Good lord.
I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm gonna ask him about the polls now because I need to know what specifically he drew.
Yeah, because I do not recall either. But I just love the timing in the background.
I have that 8-bit DOE Famicom keyboard. You will hear me when I use my 83 words per minute to ask a question.
Love to see it. Or hear it, shall I say. Oh gosh. All right. She's made up her mind. I'd rather not get another earful, so I'm waiting until the last minute. It doesn't sit right with me. So now the real challenge begins. Tonight I'm going to summon a servant while I'm in peak condition and acquire Saber by force. I don't know how you're going to do it by force when it's a luck thing, but sure, you do you, girl.
So, I do have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who she does get?
Vaguely, I think it is Mr. Archer Man, powered by melanin. Or something like that.
Oh, we'll get there when we get there. Carry on. That's going in out of context, so I'm in enough of a mind to put that one in.
Oh gosh. Late at night. The clock reads almost 2 a.m. Dang, that is late at night. This is the period where everything lines up. My condition peaks at 2 a.m. sharp. Interesting. In terms of limits, this will be my first and last chance. If I can't afford even the slightest mistake.
消去の中に大挙。大挙の陣を4つ刻んで召喚の陣で囲むと。
I inscribe magic circles into the floor of the basement. Actually, it doesn't take a major evocation to call forth a servant. Servants are invited by the Holy Grail. Masters anchor them to the world and supply the magical energy to materialize them. But the servants are the ones who choose to respond to the summons.
So neat when you see the POV character from the outside.
礎に石と契約の太鼓。ソニは我が大使シュバインオーグ。降り立つ風には壁を。四方の門は閉じ、王冠よりいで。王国に至る三サロは循環せよ。
Still, you need to keep cautious. Focus. Magic circles are normally drawn by blood, but tonight I draw mine with melted jewels.
Alternatively, you can also use Mercury.
Interesting. Got 3 options.
I'm sure there's more. Those are the 3 that I've seen.
yeah. I used up half of the jewels I've accumulated over my lifetime. Yay! So I'll never financially recover from this if it fails.
It is, gotcha!
Imagine emptying half of your bank account just to get this super ultra rare character and then failing.
I'll have more to comment on when we actually see who she gets.
Yeah.
満たせ満たせ満たせ満たせ繰り返し都度に5度。
Repeat 5 times.
ただ満たされる時を破却する。
When each is filled, destroy it. Almost 2 a.m. I finished drawing the summoning circle, passed down through the Tosaka line, and face it with all my being.
Mages having a prime time for their mana is such a fascinating concept to me.
Right?
Like, what if you're not a morning person, but your prime time is like 5 a.m.?
Yeah. I mean, you just stay up all night. You'd be everywhere.
I guess.
That's what she's doing.
It's perfect if, like, your prime time's like noon, I think, if you're like a cowboy mage.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Would actually be unstoppable. I flick
There
a
they
formula
are.
switch within myself.
Legendary Tosaka thighs.
Legendary Tosaka thighs. Are they truly?
They're more famous in the anime.
Okay. I guess once I get to a good point, I will need to start watching the anime. So
Believe me, you're gonna have to watch after. It's obviously the anime spoils the novel because no shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like namely, like probably like no more than like an episode at a time. If I'm like really chomping at the bit.
Mhm.
With the click, I feel my insides turn over to something else. Whoa. She's a werewolf. My normal nerves invert and become circuits for conducting magic. Rin Tosaka is no longer human. Okay. She's just a component in the execution of mystics. Interesting word choice. I melt from my fingers. No, I'm filled up from my fingers. The mana I'm taking in is so dense it overrides my bodily sensations. That's why I'm being destroyed at the same time I'm being filled. Running through my body is the power, mana from the atmosphere. I convert it into a different type of energy through my body's circuits. A mage's body is nothing but circuits. Circuits to connect the ethereal to the material. The mystical outcome we produce is what we call magecraft. My body grows hot. It seems like horns are growing from my forehead. They might be. It seems like wings are sprouting from my back. Here they are. Seems like scales are covering my hands. Just a whisper. Are you becoming a dragon? Is that what's happening?
A Durgan.
Feels like there's water pooling around my ankles.
Oh, a swamp dragon.
Oh no. She's also in the basement. She's got a leak. Sweat drips. Oh no, it's just all her. Stab, stab, stab. Swords pierce my body. These are the stigmata that reject my body, which becomes a surge. No matter how.
Stigmata.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Oh, just that it's a bodily mark, scar, pains, corresponding those like a crucified Jesus. It's a marking, so to speak.
Okay.
But it has a connotation of suffering and holiness.
This is why we read novels.
Mm-hmm.
Expand our vocabulary. No matter how gifted a mage is, we're only human. Even though right now it's 2 o'clock, so she's not human. In a human body, the pain is something we must live with whenever we use magecraft. So mages are masochists. Got it.
Can you imagine, like, if every time you casted a spell as a wizard of D&D, there's the 1% chance that you just die outright?
Yeah? I think we just called that wild magic.
Carry on.
Oh my gosh. The cycle doesn't let up. Beyond the agony, deep within the trance lies the mental state necessary for connection. Pain wriggles in my left arm. To aid the caster, my magic crest autonomously begins an incantation, invading my nervous system. Okay. The mana in the atmosphere I've taken in turns to blood. Okay. It's like molten lead. While my activated magic crest resembles thorny nerves. With a crunching sensation, it creeps throughout my body like a thorny centipede. Sounds incredibly unpleasant.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
But then the hurt, I forget myself. Yeah, that's good move, good move. Transcend the pain.
zone out.
Exactly. At the same time, I can feel it taking a hold of me, like I've reached where I need to go. My hypersensitive hearing picks up the ticking clock in the parlor. Think 10 seconds left until 2 o'clock. Oh, I thought you said it was already 2. Liar.
It was 1:59, and she this whole time was just a minute, and it's just moving so fast in her brain, or so slow. Sorry.
Yeah. The power filling my body is unquestionably complete. Time to begin. I convert the mana I've collected into magical energy for fixation. All that's left is to feed all that energy into the engine, the summoning circle, until my body runs dry. Yes, exactly. Here. Be. Think. My words.
汝の身は我が元に。我が命運は汝の剣に。聖杯のウルベに従い、この断りに従うならば答えよ。
Alright. What we gonna get?
Gotcha, 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 gotcha.
My vision grows dark. What lies before me now is the 5th factor, said to be imperceptible to the naked eye. My vision shuts off on its own, fearing what it might see. You know what they say, staring into the abyss.
誓いよここに。我は常世すべての善となるもの。我は常世すべての悪を仕組む。汝三代の言霊をまとう七点。抑止の輪より鍛え。天秤の守り手よ。
Okay, so pause real quick.
Alright.
That thing she said about 5th factor,
Yeah.
it's also translated as imaginary element.
Okay.
And given your knowledge, given the fact that you are in fact a computer science person, I'm sure you had to take algebra in college.
Yeah.
So you're aware of what imaginary numbers are like.
Oh, yeah.
So it has that kind of connotation when she's talking about the 5th factor.
Okay.
Of course, element is the key word here because all mages have elements.
Right.
So if your element is imaginary, you've got some fuck shit going on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Okay. Makes sense. Also, chat. Come on, SSR. My almighty servant, Kirby. Kirby? Oh, that's great. Feels so perfect. It's like I'm reeling in a whale with a fishing rod. Ah, yes, I also love Pokemon. Catching a whale lord. What a baby's first fishing rod. Lawless. She woke up like this, in fact. I'm positive I just drew the strongest card.
Joker death.
I can't wait for my vision to return. It'll take a few more seconds, but when it does, I'm sure the strongest servant will. Be nowhere in sight?
はい
Huh?
Oh, that's good. That's good. I just love the. Huh? Nothing's there. Room doesn't look different at all. I spun that much ether into this ritual only for absolutely nothing to materialize. On top of that, I think I just heard something explode in the parlor.
Annie, get your gun.
That's the truth. Clack. I bolt. My head's empty at this point. I just run. I race up the stairs from the basement.
扉壊れてる。
The door to the parlor is askew off its hinges. There isn't any point in turning the doorknob. And since it won't open whether I push or pull,
もう邪魔だかな。
I kick it down and burst into the room. What do you see? What do you find? And the moment I enter the parlor, everything becomes clear.
Ja-ja.
Everything is in tatters. It is the man doing the pose. Rubble is strewn across everything. It's as if something has fallen through the ceiling. On top of it sits a man cocking his head arrogantly. He must be some kind of criminal.
You can't just be saying that about people, Rin.
Oh my gosh. It's because of the melanin, isn't it?
You are
Oh,
forever
God.
gonna associate that with this man now, aren't you?
I mean, yeah, this is a funny joke. It will forever persist rent free. But something graver draws my attention. The grandfather clock, having escaped destruction, tells me the time precisely. Now I remember. Right, of course. The clocks were an hour ahead today, weren't they?
Oh, it's 1 a.m.
Oh my gosh. So that all that build up was like, yes, I'm in my prime. Have
No,
you
girl,
never felt
you're...
yourself in your prime to realize that this isn't right?
She got a little overwhelmed by the grail, alright?
So. Dang. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
He may be like a 4-star in terms of, the actual Fate game. In this one, he's like a 3-star, to be honest.
Whoa. How unfortunate. Dang.
またやっちゃった。
I'm just like, well, she probably means again, just in general, of the waking up early, but what else went wrong that she could be referring to?
She's been alive for a lot of years.
Fair enough. Fair enough. She is a high school student. Can complete tasks as well as anybody else, but suffer from the curse of my genetics. When it really counts, I somehow managed to bungle things on an unbelievable level. Dang. Is that the real reason why she tries to be the perfect the perfect student because she's compensating.
Gotta compensate in somewhere. They nursed her thighs before she was even born.
Dang. Dang.
やっちゃったことは仕方ない。反省。
She got the knife.
Yeah. What's done is done. You gotta learn from this. I can't believe my own stupidity. Still irritated, I direct my glare at the man lounging haughtily on the rubble.
それで、あんた何？
Wow, that was some rude language, actually.
I know. What are you?
I was talking about the Japanese, but yeah, no. What
yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
開口一番それか。こりゃまたとんでもないマスターに引き当てられたものだ。
Okay, do you recognize this voice? Because that's Sukuna in Japanese.
Yeah. Yep. The man in the red mantle shakes his head in a show of exasperation. To add insult to injury, he mutters something about drawing the short straw. Oh, now I'm dead certain. This guy has a messed up personality. What was your first clue? And is this a servant? Thought familiars were shapeless beings, but this is just a man. No, not just a man. Even from here, I can tell it's brimming with a shocking amount of magical energy. Don't be fooled by its appearance. Staring at something that's undoubtedly more than human. It's a human-shaped ghost that's on the level of an elemental.
Oh, he also voices Eraserhead in My Hero.
Interesting.
I'm rolling through the filmography as you keep reading.
Oh, yeah. It has been a minute since I've watched My Hero, so yeah, I'd never made the connection on the two, but yeah, thinking back, I can see it.
Oh, he's Grimjow.
Yeah.
He's Abachio.
From?
Abachio from JoJo.
Oh, yeah. This is no time to be dumbstruck. That thing belongs to me. Need to get my head in the game.
確認するけど、あなたは私のサーバントで間違いない？
それはこちらが聞きたいな。君こそ私のマスターなのか。ここまで乱暴な召喚は初めてでね。正直状況がつかめない。
Last filmography, just because it's so funny. He is Tetsuo Takahashi, the teacher, the big buff professor from Interviews with Monster Girls.
Oh, that's funny.
He has some range, even though he's very recognizable.
Hey. That's really funny. But yeah, I agree. Getting summoned so violently that you don't just appear in the room with the summoning circle, you literally come crashing in like a comet.
And not only that, you come crashing in on the wrong floor.
I mean, he tried to make his way to the basement.
I love his fit though. Like you can tell this is a man from the past at the very least.
Yeah.
Just a fantastical past. Like I don't recognize the history of this man, but still the past.
Yeah, I agree. I do like his drip.
For obvious reasons, I tend to call him, Red Mantle when his actual name does not suffice.
Understand.
There's another name that starts with red, but we'll get there.
Okay. It's my first time too, and I'm not answering questions like that. Oh man, they're gonna be such great partners. I can already tell.
そうか。だが私が召喚された時に君は目の前にいなかった。
And you
これ
can
は
hear
どう
the
いうこと
Sukuna.
なのか説明してくれ。
Which is to say, when I heard Sukuna, I was flabbergasted.
Understandable. What's also got me flabbergasted is that JJK ends in 5 chapters.
How are you gonna do this for me, Mr. Gege autonomy? Gege lobotomy, Gege lobotomy. We'll go with that.
I mean, you could just left that Gege like everybody else.
There's usually some extra things you gotta put in there because he traumatizes us every chapter.
Yeah, trying to figure out what in the world is going on. That's correct.
Just trying to figure out, okay, how are you gonna bullshit your way out of this one? We both know you didn't outline this.
Right?
You know how I know? Because you're just like me for real, Mr. Pantser.
Oh my gosh.
I need you to understand, when I heard the interviews for him when I was first reading through JJK, I was like, he just like me for real. And then as I kept reading, I was like, he just like me for real. Sob. I can never plan out anything good either.
That's okay. Just be like Jimmy. Because he was mentioning like, yeah, whenever I DM, it's like a rough outline and like literally the rest is just improv in the moment.
Oh yeah, Tom does that too. It drives me nuts.
And hey, if it works, it works.
I suppose so.
Emphasis on working, you know.
Honki? ひな鳥じゃあるまいし、目を開けた時にしか主を決められないなんて冗談はやめてよね。
That is pretty funny. What would she have done if he was like a baby bird? She had a butler who was there in the parlor at the time. He gets bonded to the butler and not her.
I love how biting both their personalities are. Because this is the real Rin.
Oh yeah. No longer
So that
daylight
they're
hours.
They're both like blades kind of nick it into each other, trying to feel each other out.
Mm-hmm. The unidentified servant frowns and a grunt escapes his lips. Maybe he didn't like the way I said it, though he has a mixed reaction, as if still impressed by the logic in my words.
まあいいわ。私が聞いているのはね、あなたが他の誰でもない、この私のサーバントかってことだけよ。それをはっきりさせない以上、他の質問に答える義務はないわ。
召喚に失敗しておいてそれか。この場合、他にいろいろと言うべきことがあると思うのだが。
Oh, even he's saying you failed summoning.
I know.
If my gacha unit started sassing me, I don't think I'd be able to handle it.
Right?
そんなのないわよ。主従関係は一番初めにはっきりさせておくべきものだもの。
Like, and why is the thing that he's looking for is a Hello, my name is Ren Tosaka.
In fact, you picked up on that?
The servant's eyebrow twitches.
He's losing
Oh,
it.
a hydrate.
Hydrate.
You may not be able to handle the sass, but can you handle this hydrate?
I have summoned the cup.
But yeah. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
He isn't even bothering to hide his dissatisfaction with me. I wonder if it's because of the half-baked summoning.
Don't say half-baked when he's right there.
主従関係ははっきりさせておくか。やることは知ってんだらけだが、
Ooh,
口だけは達者らしい。
has a tongue to match his outfit. My God.
Oh man. And a posture check. You know my posture was incorrect.
My posture is always incredible. Because I'm flat. It's because I'm flat. My posture is always good.
I don't think that's how that works.
なあ、確かにその意見には賛成だ。どちらが強者で、どちらが弱者なのか、明確にしておかなければ、お互いやりづらかろう。
Servant eyes me meaningfully, still relaxing on the rubble of my living room.
どちらが弱者かですって？
ああ、私もサーバントだ。呼ばれたからには主従関係を認めるさ。だが、それはあくまで契約上の話だろう。
Oh. Are there hidden terms and conditions that she wasn't aware of?
どちらがより優れたものか、共に戦うにふさわしい相手かを測るのは別になる。さて、その件でいくと、君は私のマスターにふさわしい魔術師なのかな？
Whoa.
お嬢さん。
Look at that sub.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. From the Gwen.
Nice.
Been sub for 13 months. Whoa. Hopeless Necromantic 2. Been sub for a whopping 38 months. See, first he destroys my house and acts like he's the king of the castle, and now he has the nerve to ask whether I'm worthy?
あなたの意見なんて聞いてないわ。私が聞いているのは、あなたが私のサーバントかどうかってことだけよ。
I repeat myself, stealing my gaze. I'm not going to back down from this condescending jerk.
おう、なるほどなるほど。そんな当たり前のことは答えるまでもないと。実に勇ましい。いや、気概だけなら立派なマスターだが。
だから順番を間違えるなっていうの。一番初めに確認するのは召喚者の務めよ。さあ答えなさい。あなたは私のサーバントなのね。
Do you think the other masters are having this much trouble?
No. Not even in the slightest. I imagine like everyone else is summoning goes like, bippity boppity boo, and then someone appears in front of them, nothing gets destroyed, they make eye contact, they size each other up, and they're like, and they hit them with the muscular guy shaking hands, He's like, "You
Macho
ready to
Man
do-
and Hulk Hogan.
yeah, you ready to do this?" And they're like, "Yeah," and then they walk out the door, and that's it. That's my headcanon. I step forward aggressively, ready to pounce depending on his answer. However, would this work out for you if you did, as you called it, pounce? Hmm.
強情なお嬢さんだ。これでは話が進
Oh,
む。
Joe-san.
Mhm.
仕方あるまい。仮に私が君のサーバントだとしよう。で、
Hell, what's
その場合、
that?
君が
Hypothetically,
私のマスターなのか？いやまあ、あくまで仮の話だが。
当たり前じゃない。あなたが私に呼ばれたサーバントなら、あなたのマスターは私以外に誰がいるっていうのよ。
Then why were you so hung up on it? If it was so obvious. But anyway, I glare at this rude man, giving my seething head a moment to cool down.
She's flustered.
そうか。まあ仮の話なんだが、とりあえずそうだとしよう。それで、君が私のマスターである証はどこにある？
Ah, nice script flip. Now prove to you my master. The servant blithely asked, smirking all the while. Clearly trying to goad me with these questions, losing my temper.
No, I think he's asking you some
あ
reasonable
なたのマ
questions.
スターである証ってこれでしょ。
Oh, okay. Calmly answering, providing the proof. Good job. Okay. I show him the command spells on my right hand. Don't think I was born yesterday. Others told me enough that I know what command spells are at least.
納得いった？これでもまだ文句を言うの？
I thrust the symbols at him in challenge. But the lounging servant rolls his eyes.
参ったな。本気で言ってるのか、お嬢さん。
No. Sounds like she only had half the story. His face darkens, looking even more disgruntled.
本気かってなんでよ。
その考えがだ。霊樹があればマスターなのか？霊樹などサーバントを利する道具に過ぎないだろう。
Yeah, that actually, in fact, in the name. Command spell. A spell to command. In parentheses, your servant.
まったく、そんな形だけのものでマスターブルとはな。私が見たかったのは、君が忠誠を振るうにふさわしい人物かどうかだったのだが。
Deserve. Ooh. He puts value in his work.
I like it. Like you said, I answered the Grail summon. Now, see who I'm working with. I'm a busy man, and I don't like wasting my time. But besides this hopeless man, so large. There we go. All right. Dang. Really hit the. That makes sense, but normally you think of command spells if someone asks for proof of your master, right?
For this
よ
guy, apparently.
それじゃあ私はマスター失格
We don't exactly have a point of reference either. As far as we're concerned, this is how it should normally
例
be.
がある以上私の召喚者は君のようだ信じがたいが君は本当に私のマスターらしいな
Oh, he's unhappy. He don't like this arrangement.
Understandable. Expecting someone more experienced, or at least who knew their stuff. He shrugs in mock exhaustion. Uh-oh. I've reached my boiling point and I'm not going to cool down in time. Oh no. Girl's about to go left and right on this man.
全くもって不満だが認めようとりあえず君は私のマスターだだが私にも条件がある私は今後君の言い分には従わない戦闘方針は私が決めるし君はそれに従って行動する
Reasonable from his perspective, as the more experienced one of the two, wanting to take the lead. Yeah,
He looks like he's seen a couple wars.
at least.
これが最大の情報だそれで構わないなお嬢さん
Sorry, father. I'm at my limit. What is she about to do, and why is it going to have us all collectively rolling in laughter?
そう不満だけど認めるくせに私の意見には取り合わないってどういうことかしらあなたは私のサーバントなんでしょ
I asked in a trembling voice. After I spat over the command spells, this is my last desperate attempt at dialogue. And yet,
ああ形の上だけはな故に形式上は君に従ってやるだが戦うのは私自身だ君はこの家の地下にでも隠れて聖杯戦争が終わるまでじっとしていればいいそれなら未熟な君でも命
Yeah,
だ
if
け
we
は
look at
助
the
か
sort
る
of
だろう
objective perspective, this is not a bad deal at all.
I agree.
I get to stay home all cushy and you'll go off and fight for me?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I get a knock at my bunker door saying, "Hey, yo, I got the chalice." All right, goodbye. Or something. I don't know what happens to them after the war ends. He's looking down on me, declaring that he expects nothing from me.
怒ったのかいやもちろん君の立場は尊重するよ私はマスターを勝利させるために呼ばれたものだからな私の勝利は君のものだし戦いで得たものは全て君にくれてやる
This is a pretty cushy deal.
Very cushy.
どうせ君にレイジは使えまいまあ後のことは私に任せて君は自分の身の安全を
あったまきたいいわそんなに言うなら使ってやろうじゃない
Oh.
アンファン
No more
I got
mercy.
this.
All right.
I've got nothing else left for a jackass like this.
まさか
そのまさかよこの礼儀知らずフィアトラークアイノイエルナーゲンアイノイエスケナツアイノイエスフィアブレヒン
Sorry, I don't speak German.
待て正気はマスターそんなことでレイジを使うやつが
Waste a command spell?
Oh, you saw 3 little symbols on her hand.
True, but I perceived it as, oh, this is funky symbol showing that I can cast these spells and I am the master. Not that it was okay, every time you cast one, a portion of it will disappear such that when it's all gone, whatever happens, happens.
うるさい
Okay.
いいあんたは私のサーバントなら私の言い分には絶対服従ってもんでしょ
The emblem on my right hand aches. 3 command spells. Oh, okay. They allow a master to issue 3 unbreakable commands to their servants.
考えなさい君はこんな大雑把なことに霊視を使うなど
It's too late to whine now. I didn't expect this to happen either. I want to die of self-loathing. And Fear in Las Vegas? It's a good band. See, I can't believe I just burned up one of my precious command spells on a petty squabble. Yeah.
Pause for a bit. I need to use the lady stream again because I drank a whole Coke.
Oh yeah, you're good. Wonder if they'll ever release a soundtrack for this. I mean, there probably is a soundtrack for this out there, but how do I get my hands on it? Is it on Spotify? It'd be real nice if it was. As much as I've been enjoying the story and everything, the music has been great as well.
Hello again. We are in fact at the point of the novel where I just cannot afford to miss anything just because my boy, he's tied with one other person for my favorite character from anything ever.
Whoa.
So if I see my boy, I gotta be here for it.
Understandable. And after that, I retreated from the ruins of the parlor and went to my bedroom. Before me stands a servant whom my command spell compel absolute obedience from. supposedly, anyway.
なるほど。君の性質は大体理解したぞ、マスター。
Tall bugger, ain't he?
Who would call this absolute obedience? Well, you make a vague request, you get a vague result.
念のため尋ねるが、君はレイジュがどれほど重要か理解しているのか、マスター。
知ってるわよ。サーバントを律する3回きりの命令権でしょ。それが何よ。
いいかね。レイジはサーバントを強制的に行動させるものだ。それは行動を止めるだけでなく、行動を強化させるという意味でもある。例えば、私はここから遠くの場所まで瞬間的には移動できない。だが、レイジで行けと命じれば、それが私と君の魔力で届くことならば可能となる。強制命令権とはそういうことだ。サーバント自身でも制御できない肉体の限界さえ突破させる大魔術の結晶が3つのレイジュなのだ。まあ今では2つに減ってしまったがな。
知ってるわよ、そんなこと。いいじゃない、まだ2つあるんだし。あなたに命じた規則は無駄じゃないんだし。
Sure about that?
確かにこれは私の誤算だった。レイジというものは曖昧な命令には効きが弱くなる。私を守り通せ、この戦いに勝てなどといった広く長く効果が続くものにはレイジの力が弱くなる。効き目は長く続くが苦痛が小さいため逆らえるサーバントも出てくるだろう。
Okay. Okay.
逆に次の一撃を死ぬ気で放て、あのグラスだけは壊すなといった単一の命令は絶対で、よほど強力なサーバントでも逆らうのは難しくなる。さて、ここまでで私が言いたいことがわかるな、マスター。
わかるわよ。要するに広く長い命令は意味がないんでしょ。
Makes sense.
効果も戒めも薄いならサーバントはレイジュに逆らって行動できる。そんな効き目の薄い命令をするなら絶対的な単一の命令をした方がいい。
そうだ。レイジとはもともと自分たちの能力以上の奇跡を起こすためのもの。それを代用の効く命令などで消費する具は許されない。君の先ほどのレイジはまさにそれだ。私が君に従うかは話し合いで解決できたことだし、仮にレイジを使ったところで全ての言動に絶対服従などレイジ
She
は
just
100
kept
あっても
failing her
実現
charisma
できない。
check. She got frustrated.
It do be like that. Even the DM was kind enough to let her re-roll it at
じゃあ
every
私
clause.
のさっきのレイジは無意味ってこと？
And she said, fuck that, make a con save.
通常ならそうなのだがな。どうも
Oh,
君の魔術師としての性能は桁が違ったらしい。
Oh, shit. Shots. My servant's lips twitch upwards even as he sighs.
桁が違ったって もしかして。ちょっとあなた、自分が今どんな状態なのか正直に話してみなさい。
Implication dawns on me. Asking you.
ああ、誤算というのはそれだ。先ほどの命令では、少しはマスターの意見を尊重しようという程度の心変わりにしかならない。だが、今の私は君の、つまりマスターの意向に逆らうと体が重くなって動きづらいというところか。
Basically, it's actually strong enough for him to be unable to fight off with minimum consequences.
It's certainly more than, you know, what it would normally be if it were literally anybody but Rin.
Yeah. And it's like, and imagine what it would have been if she was actually at peak form.
If it was at peak form, she would have gotten Archer. Sorry.
Well, yeah. Let's see. My servant shrugs in resignation.
What a hard dude to read.
Yeah. But I'm sure they'll make it work in the end. For better or worse. So he's saying that my command spell wasn't a waste, but an actual benefit? Still being as sarcastic as ever, so it doesn't seem to have had any effect. Well, you didn't tell him not to be sarcastic, so of course he's going to still be sarcastic.
He's obeying you, he's just mouthing off.
Yeah. Besides, even if he's weakened, I doubt even 10 of me could resist if he decided to rebel against me.
Yeah, important thing to keep in mind. Normal humans cannot fight servants.
Yeah?
Let me say that again. Normal humans cannot fight servants.
Yeah? You're
it's
making
worth
it...
noting because some people will see that a servant has like E rank strength and think that means they could take them. No, E rank strength is still at the very least like Olympic boxer. Like
Okay, then have the master be an Olympic boxer. Let's go toe to toe, servant. Catch these hands.
前言を撤回しよう、マスター。年齢は若いが、君は卓越した魔術師だ。
Oh, look at that recognition.
子供と侮り、戦いから遠ざけようとしたのは私の過ちだった。無礼ともども謝ろう。
Wow.
What a cool guy. Recognizes his mistakes and tries to correct them.
やめてよ。確かにいろいろ言い合ったけど、そんなの喧嘩両成敗っていうか。
This is just how I banter with my friends. Don't sweat the details, buddy.
そうか。いや、話のわかるマスターで助かった。
Like that, huh?
Yeah, like that.
なんか切り返し早いわね、あんた。
Give him an inch, he's taking the mile.
何？誤算は誤算だったが、嬉しい誤算というやつだったからな。これほどの才能があるのなら、 君を戦いに巻き
The
込むことに
mouth
異論は
on
ない
this guy.
Oh. Oh, boy really said, I've learned the formula. Like, you got to mouth off and then hit her with a compliment. Then mouth off and then hit her with a compliment.
Keep her guessing, keep her guessing.
Oh, gosh. This is roundabout way of saying I'm a strong master?
じゃあレイジュ抜きで私がマスターだって認めるのね。
無論だ。先ほどは召喚されたばかりで馴染んでいなかったが、今では完全につながった。魔術師であるのなら、契約によるつながりを感じられるだろう。
Which makes sense on why he was like, okay, are you actually my master? Because I don't feel the usual bond of their pact. Still settling. Makes sense, makes sense.
契約？
Now that he mentions it, something does feel weird about my body. As if my closed off nerves are now connected to the outside. Specifically, I can feel a portion of my magical energy flowing to the man before me.
そっか。サーバントは聖杯に呼ばれるけど、呼ばれたサー
Now
バン
she's
トを
getting
この世
it.
に留めるのは
そう、マスターの力だ。サーバントはマスターからの魔力提供によってこの世にとどまる。魔力提供量は十分だ。経験的に問題はありそうだが、君の能力は飛び抜けている。普通の魔術師ならば、サーバントを召喚した瞬間に意識を失っているだろう。だというのに、君は活力に満ちている。
Yeah, I think that's true. Girl went off on the man. She's so full of life.
Maybe she's like the mage equivalent of Nuzumaki.
この魔力量といい。マスターとして、
Actually,
君は間違いなく一流だ。
yeah, probably.
That's funny because, as far as the way that I understand the difference between clone jutsu and shadow clone jutsu, there is an adequate comparison to be made to one of the characters here. But we'll get there when we get there.
Okay. But yeah, the difference between the two is one actually has substance. Like my shadow clones, they can go forth and conquer. Should that be the directive?
Huh? 今さら褒めたって何も出ないけど。
You say that, but boy has already made leaps and bounds of progress. I break eye contact out of embarrassment. But I didn't see this coming. I know the command spell is making him obey me, but still, the superhuman servant is sincerely acknowledging me as his master.
で、あなた何のサーバント？
Get to the real questions, the real business.
What's your
Names.
class D&D character?
Right? Yeah.
見てわからないか。ああ、それは結構。
He seems happy that you can't tell by looking at him.
Yeah. I take it all back. He's definitely making fun of me.
Oh, you just now noticed?
わかったわ。これはマスターとしての質問よ。ねえ、あなたセイバーじゃないの？
Hey, aren't you a saber?
That's a key word there. A saber.
Yeah, I noticed. Not the saber. nuances intensify.
残念ながら剣は持っていない。
Yeah, fortunately, I'm not equipped with a sword. Which, you know, makes sense. I suspected as much. All said and done, I got the time wrong, my summoning circle didn't do its job, and my servant was spat out into some random room. It's far too sloppy of a ritual to summon the strongest servant, Saber. Hey, Saber, the strongest.
I want to clarify the wording here.
Yeah.
Historically, in prior Holy Grail wars, Saber is the... I'm going to use this word because it makes the most sense to explain. Saber is the class that has the most consistent results.
Okay, yeah. Highest number of wins. Yep.
So, like, the even... strongest is not, like, literally muscles in this case.
Right. Because there's always a number of factors. How big is your brain in outmaneuvering people, etc.
It's just that the less tricks you have to rely on, the easier it is on you. And the easier it is on you, well, guess what?
Yeah. That's true. I go forth, I bonk. It's cut and dry.
The more straightforward things are, the less thinking you have to do.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Dojitだわ。あれだけ宝石を使っておいてセイバーじゃないなんて目も当
This
てら
really
れ
is
ない。
gotcha, isn't it?
It really is.
悪かったな、セイバーでなくて。
Aww. Really hurt the man. Well, sorry, I'm not Saber.
え？ああ、うん。そりゃ通行のミスだから残念だけど。
I don't think you're helping your
悪いの
case
は
right now,
私なん
Red.
だから。
Right.
なあ、どうせアーチャーでは派手さに欠けるだろうよ。
There, he finally said it.
Ah, there we go. There's the word archer.
Yeah, an archer is his designation.
Okay. Yeah, so now this makes more sense. So whenever I see things of him, it's archer this, archer that. And I've always wondered if it was like Archer is the name, which I'm like, that doesn't sound right, but I guess. But okay.
So the other word that's the other name that starts with red that I tend to call him is Red Bowman.
Okay, so therefore that, given everything that we have seen thus far, that tells us, or tells me that, okay, you got all these different D&D classes as you described it, and there are multiple people, servants that can fall into these various buckets. What their actual names are, who knows?
Maybe he'll tell you.
Maybe he'll tell us. All right.
いいだろう。後で今の暴言を悔やませてやる。
Oh.
その時になって謝っても。
He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Of course he does. Do not disrespect the archery.
はい？
What a surprise. The unidentified servant seems to be sulking. Maybe my fixation on Saber offended him. You think?
Maybe?
What was your first clue?
何？勘に触った？あーちゃん。
触った。見ていろ。必ず自分がこう。
Literally a 3-star being like, no, shut up, I'm just as good as a 5-star.
Yeah? Which, I mean, do
He
be
very
the
well
case
could be.
sometimes.
He very well could be.
Archer retorts with a sidelong glance. He has a really spiteful air about him, but that reaction felt somehow childish and free of malice. No, he might actually be a pretty decent guy. And then he's going to open his mouth and she's going to be like, I take it all back. He's the worst person ever.
そうね。それじゃあ必ず私を後悔させて、はーちゃん。そうなったら素直に謝らせてもらうから。
ああ、忘れるなよ、マスター。己が召喚したものがどれほどのものか知って感謝するがいい。もっとも、その時になって謝られても、こちらの気は張るんだろうがな。
In English, in the more recent anime adaptations, he is voiced by Kaji Tang, who, in the English version of Jujutsu Kaisen, voices Gojo.
Oh.
With that knowledge, carry on. There's a line coming up.
Okay. Archer huffs even as his lips twist into a grin. Oh yeah, this one's got a riding personality, alright. Yeah, see, there's the back pedal.
まあいいわ。それであんた、どこの英霊なのよ。
Ah, heroic spirit. Okay, okay. We get more lore. Oh. Sardonic expressions replaced by deepening frown.
あーちゃん、マスターである私がサーバントであるあなたに聞いているんだけど。
それは秘密だ。
Huh? Huh?
Huh. Is this a change that you're unaware of?
No.
Or is this okay?
I'm just putting myself in Rin's shoes rather easily here.
Okay, okay. Our collective response. Nani, what do you mean it's a secret? Give me all them beats.
You want to elaborate on that, Red Bowman?
Yeah.
Huh?
There it is.
私がどのようなものだったかは答えられない。なぜかというと。
あのね、つまんない理由だったら怒るわよ。
それは。
Well, that face again. Archer opens and closes his mouth as if he's having trouble voicing an uncomfortable truth.
なぜかというと。
Because
自分でもわからない。
Oh. That's a good answer. Good reason. Carry on.
なんして？
何よそれ。あんた私のことバカにしてるわけ
？Oh, now.
マスターを侮辱するつもりはない。ただ、これは君の不完全な召喚のツケだぞ。どうも、記憶に混乱が見られる。
気にすることはない。気にするわよそんなの。
Yes, me too. Therefore, you're saying that because of the summoning being imperfect, he knows who he is, i.e. an archer, but his origins and
like
actual
his
history,
identity.
Yeah,
his identity's
gone.
there, but he doesn't know. He doesn't remember his origin or his name, which is fuck.
Yeah. Dang.
Which is fair, because how often do you really call yourself by name in your head?
Every third Tuesday.
Exactly. So, like, for this guy, it's probably not that big a deal. He doesn't have to call himself anything but, you know, that vague thing you refer to yourself by. Let's get out of bed, me. It's never like, come on, hell, let's do this.
I've heard you say that many a time, actually.
The difference is I'm clinically insane.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Carry on.
あんたがどんな英霊か知らなきゃどのくらい強いのかわからないじゃない。
Well, no way to know.
なんだ、そんなことは問題ではなかろう。さまつな問題だよ、それは。
Okay. What trivial answer do you have to such a trivial question?
さまつってあんたね、相棒の強さがわからないんじゃ作戦の立てようがないでしょ。そんなんで戦っていけるわけないじゃない。
何を言う。私は君が呼び出したサーバントだ。それが最強でないはずがない。
Not sure that's how that works.
Do you understand why I told you why Kaji Tang voices Gojo?
Yeah. Got the white hair too.
So if we can like take a peek at like his attire here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he don't know where he's from. What's your best guess?
I mean, given the fact that he's archery man, and then the way that the strings are tied, that's holding his jacket
Mantle?
thing. Yeah, mantle. Thank you. In place. I'm thinking something Japanese. Chad has stated Australia.
He's gonna pull out didgeridoo as his weapon. Watch.
That would be so good.
Yeah, he's kind of got that Gojo confidence.
I'm gonna make that my next bard character.
A didgeridoo. A didgeridoo mall. There you go.
Oh my gosh. That would be hilarious. But yeah, that's about all I got. Something Japanesey. Insert point in time in history. I'm gonna just pick a period of history that came to mind first during the Warring States period.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
That's okay. He's kind of giving you scraps here. I get it.
Also, I just don't history very well, so.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
There comes a point where weapons that you see in game get added to the little they get added to some of the menus that you can read up for context. So that you'll get more crumbs.
Okay. Look forward to this. He's so straightforward. The Crimson Knife fixes me with a gaze full of confidence and trust. My brain grinds to a halt. Don't you start catching feels now.
That man's like double your age minimum.
Right. There's no
Like,
deception in his words.
Like
Mm-hmm.
he's got white hair. Like that dude is stressed. If he's not old, he's really stressed out.
I mean, it could be natural. That's all I gotta say about that. It could be natural. Okay, he's sincerely given me more credit than I deserve, even though we've only just met. My cheeks are burning. Girl, I just told you, do not catch feels. Erg. I'm sure I'm blushing black red right now. Surprise attacks like this tend to be my weakness.
まあいいか。誰にも正体がわからないってことには変わりはないんだし。敵を
Yeah, there
騙
you
すのは
go.
まず味方からって言うし。
It's like that scene where Jotaro was playing poker by not knowing what his hand was. You can't know what I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing.
True. And then on the other end of that spectrum, you have just everyone knowing what you're doing. Like whenever I play Uno and I just reveal my entire hand to the table and still win.
Oh, that's getting bookmarked.
I turn away from Archer to hide my embarrassment. I'm sure I'll figure out in due time what sort of servant he is anyways. For now, we have other priorities. Also, I find it very ironic that she pulled an Archer whenever she used to spend all of her time watching the archery club. There we go. It was fated to be, you see.
Doesn't give a damn about archery. Grabs the literal archer class.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have comments about that name of the class later.
Okay.
わかった。しばらくあなたの正体に関しては不問にしましょう。それじゃあじゃあ最初の仕事だけど。
Okay, first job.
早速か。好戦的だな、君は。それで敵は
Before he can say enemy, I tossed a broom and dustpan at him. Yeah, that's not surprising.
下の掃除お願い。あんたが散らかしたんだから責任持ってきれいにしといてね。
Oh, that's so good.
I'll give Nasu this. He has a good sense of humor.
A few seconds pass in stunned silence. When Archer finally regains his senses, he grips the broom indignantly.
Don't snap it, bro.
待て。君はサーバントを何だと思っている？
使い魔でしょ？ちょっと生意気で扱いに困るけど。
A little uppity and hard to deal with, though, but a familiar just the same.
It's more like an echo, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
a little more than what you'd get from Find Familiar, let's be real.
True.
It's like if your unseen servant could gain class levels.
Man, imagine.
If only, right?
It would be crazy. Archer cuts himself off. Dang, there's that obedience cutting in. I have no intention of letting him off. And if he tries to weasel out of it, I still have a card to play.
意義あり。そのような命令はこと。
いいの？これマスターとしての命令よ。マスターの方針に逆らったら体が重くなるんだっけ？
I mean, yeah, he'll feel weighed down, but
Oh, now that's your problem too, girl.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not really his problem in the grand scheme of things, because it's like, oh no, I can't move at full speed. I'm so lethargic. But you're not in battle, you're not in danger. And if someone suddenly attacks your house, then suffer.
まああなたはその程度じゃどうってことないだろうけど、そのペナルティは今を掃除するまで続くのよ。
Shit, that's right.
そ
Dude
んな
did
状
say
態
you
で明
got
日か
2
ら
days.
戦っていくのは危ないんじゃない？
Well, tomorrow, so really today.
Yeah.
Hmm. So the archer in the red mantle closed his eyes.
了解した。地獄に落ちろ、マスター。
That's so good. And gracefully accepts my order.
Not as graceful as he usually does, anyway.
Now then, it's getting late, so I should rest. Especially if I have to go to school in the morning or something.
Like, it's gotta be like at least 3 a.m. by this point for her. Or at least actually 2 a.m.
Yeah. And notice, she still has not changed any clocks. I can decide how to deal with him once I wake up. A fateful day draws to a close. No, rather, my fate was shaped by this night. That makes 6, including me. Once the 7th and final master summons their servant, the Holy Grail War of this generation will begin. In the not so distant future, the battle I've been waiting 10 long years for is about to commence. I think that is a good place to stop.
Drat. That was a really long first day.
A very long first day.
I still love the first save we have is of you just staring at that carrot head.
Yes, actually, I'll keep that one there.
Well, I'm glad to have you on board.
Yes, we're here for the long haul.
Uh-huh. Let me check the... I need to check the... About how many hours. I know how many hours we actually played, but I need to check about how far in we are in the grand scheme of things.
I just know that we are still listed as in the prologue.
No, I know. I'm aware we're still in the prologue. I'm just also aware of how long the prologue is, but given we're doing stream times and not like actual reading times.
Yeah.
Okay. We are in fact... We're about halfway through the prologue.
Oh, wow.
The prologue's not very long. I say that, but it's still like a good chunk of hours of reading. Like,
I mean, yeah.
but like, I'm glad you're on board with the characters at least, even though you've got like 2 important ones.
Wow, just 2. Dang.
I love Beat Suzuki, I really do, but I love Sagusa, I really do, but there were important ones in the intro, but like I can't say which ones those were. That takes away the fun.
Fair enough. But you have already knocked out 2 out of the 15 odd people that we.
And obviously, a prologue is the perfect opportunity to take the role of a character you won't see from the point of view of again.
Yes.
And in this case, because this is a game with routes, the prologue are the events that always happen regardless of route, just from a different perspective than we usually get.
Okay. Okay.
The first night is always the same. The second night, with the exception of like one change, is always the same.
Interesting.
We'll get there, and I am looking. It's gonna take a couple as in the classic meaning of two. It's gonna take like 2 routes to figure out what Archer's deal is. So I'm gonna hold closely to that as much as possible.
Okay. Okay. I'll be sure
But-
to provide my theories along the way.
But he does like. The good thing about a route system, right,
Mm-hmm.
is that you can bring up a cliffhanger question in one that gets answered in the next.
Oh, okay.
And I do have issues with the actual protagonist of this novel, but issues that get solved by virtue of him actually going through character development.
Ah, yes. Hero's Journey.
And furthermore, Archer gets a really fucking cool scene in this first route. Even if it's as in at least it was cool in the anime. It's more implied in the novel, but we'll get there.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and actually make preparations for sleep though, because I do have church in the morning.
Yep.
Good night,
Sounds
everybody.
good. Thanks everyone for
See-
joining.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. See you in 2 weeks or more.
Are you keeping notes, by the way, Richie?
No. Mine is a steel trap.
Okie dokie. It's 100 hours of reading. I'm just warning you. That this may as
Alright.
well be a D&D campaign.
Oh man. I guess I'll pull
It's
out
okay,
one of my
we-
empty notebooks.
We have the VOD here. You can go back to get notes that away for this first one.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nasu has this bad habit of getting really, really high concept because he put together a whole world and sometimes does stories in one little part of it.
Okay.
Also, you're gonna hear that name a lot, Nasu. Usually the name being followed by the phrase "God damn it."
I see.
Kenoku Nasu is the main writer of Type Moon, with the main artist of Type Moon being his roommate for 10 years, Takeuchi Takeshi.
Okay.
And whenever you hear me say "God damn it, Takeuchi," that's usually in regards to the art.
Okay.
Type Moon was founded by Takeuchi and Nasu when Takeuchi gave up his school to live with Nasu in his apartment together and work on novels. So it's a very grassroots beginnings for a very popular franchise that makes a lot of money now.
Yeah.
It's extra funny because we still don't even know Nasu's actual name.
Fair enough. You like that?
Japanese authors and their pen names.
Ain't that the truth?
I know why the name he uses is Kenoku Nasu, not his actual name, because if we knew his actual name, there'd be people at his house. It's like Gege.
Yeah.
And not for good reasons, not for autographs.
Yeah. I see.
Okay. Time for some warm milk now. Good night, Richie.
All right. Good night, and good night to the peoples.